reality. And
Okay.
that is shifting and changing for you as well. It's like you're starting to open up to more possibilities of what is.
Okay.
Let me see what else they have for you.
Okay.
They're saying, try not to worry about the finances and the money, because the money is there. The money is coming.
Okay.
And so by doing this, by being in that space and that energy, and being doing some of this Reiki work, that things are going to open up for you. And then once you get through this piece of it, then you can make that decision on what your next step is, what your next chapter is. So this is almost like preparing you and asking you, what do you want to do in your next step, right? It's like this you're standing on the threshold of a door, and you're looking out and you're contemplating what your next step is. And so that's where that is where you need to be during this time period, is you need to start thinking about what it is that you want to do and where you want to go with this.
Okay.
You're incredibly compassionate and caring and giving. And so that piece of you is going to remain strong. And you're definitely going to be drawn to that piece of it, to that caregiving side, right? But I think what you're going to find is that you're going to you're going to take that caregiving piece, but you're going to look at it from a different perspective. It's like putting on a different set of lenses and go, okay, so it's going to look a little bit different for me. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So not necessarily going back into the exact type of caregiving that you were doing before, but it's going to look a little bit different, but it's still going to be in that realm of caregiving.
Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes.
Something that is a little less, what they're showing me is a little less harsh on your body or your mental state. Because even though you liked what you do and what you did, it was a little bit hard on your mental capacity.
Yes, it
was. With some of the things that you had to deal with and to essentially live through, right? And so they're saying this different path will give you a little bit of a break of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yes.
Okay. Was there anything else that I can help you with tonight?
No, you have answered some great questions.
Good. I'm so glad.
You have helped me a lot. You've helped me a lot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, do take care of yourself, and thank you for calling in.
Yes, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Thank you.
All right, next we have Kelly in Lancaster, England. Good evening, Kelly, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hiya.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am good, thank you. What can I do for you this evening?
I'd just like to see if things are going to start looking up, like to do with my health and my housing. Really. Anything you can really pick up.
Okay, so you said your health, and what was the other question you had?
To see if my health gets any worse, like I'm having issues with my health and not getting anywhere with doctors and stuff.
Okay. Kelly, let me check in here for you. And while I do that, there's just going to be a little moment of silence, and then I will be right back with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Kelly. So I'm being shown that you have been having some health issues for some time now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's yeah, and it's almost like you can't breathe anymore. It's just like it's so
Yeah,
overwhelming.
it's got worse. Yeah, because I've been past a lot of course. I've had a lot of problems, yeah. But it's getting worse, obviously. I just thought, I'm not going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Um, so it feels like have you done any kind of um or worked with like a natural path? I'm feeling like there's a lot of like they're showing me like herbal supplements and that type of thing. Have you worked with somebody like that in your past?
No, I have had, they've tried to give me like sort of like work therapy sort of thing, like to deal with the pain. But that was a long time back. I was meant to have an operation, but obviously they're using the situation as a cardiac arrest, so I just have to basically deal with it.
Right. Um, yeah, because what they're showing me is it feels like that that there you haven't really gotten to the main point of what's causing all of this.
No, it's, well, that's what I mean, yeah, but obviously other things like my stomach and my back, obviously I know what's wrong with my back, I just can't have the operation. But I would have been out, it's been going on for some time, but now it's affecting my ability to go out.
Yeah. So I am being shown that that you will, it looks like that you are going to be doing some kind of a surgery down the road, and it is going to help. Okay.
Right.
It's going to help kind of, I'm sorry?
I've been begging for him to do some surgery, but they reckon that's that.
Yeah. Um, so it's almost like, so yes, I mean, they're showing me that you are going to do some type of a surgery. Um, it's almost like you could also, and I'm not saying replace the surgery, but in preparation for it, finding a healer that can help you work with your angels and guides to kind of get you prepped for that surgery and do some healing sessions on this. And what that will do is the angels could come in and do like an energetic healing and clearing and almost like an energetic surgery for you to kind of start this process going to get your body prepped and to get you kind of over this hump.
Right.
And I think that that would help you, that would really help kind of push you forward a little bit. It feels like there's a lot of healing, like like almost just like trauma healing that needs to happen for you
Yeah.
from past experiences. And so finding a healing practitioner that can kind of help guide you through that is really going to help kind of lift a piece from you. Like literally, it's going to make, what I'm being shown is like, it's literally going to make your body feel lighter. Okay. Because right now there's a lot of heaviness that I feel like you're carrying, and I feel like that's because it's from from past trauma.
Trauma, like, yeah, it's at the past is in help due to me issues with my kids. But sort of thing, I've been through a lot and never been listed. These things happened. It's like I know things before it happens, but it's been bad things.
Yeah. So yeah, I would look for somebody that could help you through some of those things. And I think that will get you at least started on your way a little bit and get you prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
So Kelly, we're coming down to the last few seconds of our show. So I'm going to have to say good night, but I hope this has been helpful for you this evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's helped me a lot now and all.
You're so very welcome. I hope you start feeling better very soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Well, that does it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Feel free to reach me at my website of wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. I am booking into April right now for readings, personal one-on-one readings, and group readings. You could also reach me on my Facebook page at Julie Yeager Walker Medium and Your Time to Shine. Good evening, everyone, and we'll see you again next week.
Hi, I'm Dean, and thanks for watching Moonstruck. And now back to A1R on the air. Psychic Talk Radio, now on Moonstruck TV, enlightening television.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network, Earth's #1 psychic radio network. We're also on Moonstruck TV and a bunch of other places. I bet you some of those alien ships are broadcasting us some other places too.
Also, you think of a cat and you think of catwalk and models sauntering down the catwalk. It's like, wow, here I come, baby. And cats, as you know, an animal totem for people. Nightclubs are full of cats. Like, look at the laser light. Here we go. It's like, doo, 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 boom, boom, wow, wow, wow. You know, it's sort of like the place for cats, right? Whereas the dog, it's sort of like, love me, love me, love me. Whereas the cat's like, oh, love me, but no, not there. I'm going to climb across the top of the couch now. And I'm going to yodel in the other room so that the people on the phone with you or the video call think that you're a very bad human. That's what I'm going to do. You know, just ask my cat. That's what he does. It's kind of hilarious. No, I'm not going to yodel. Don't worry. But you sort of think of this year and it's going to be kind of like the cha-cha. You sort of think of the moves in the cha-cha. It's like, do, 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 boom, you know, and it's like back and then do, 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 boom. And so you may find a kind of a stop and start energy to this year. Bit manic, and you know, rely on the instincts. Use your patience. Patience is good. Yeah, you may find that patience is tested because it's a 7 years where you could find people more aggravating than usual, or you know, just trying to set the boundaries or even cross the boundaries a bit. So, yeah, having patience. I often find that a really good analogy is if someone's cutting you off in traffic, right? A really great way of dealing with this is not to get angry and do the very Aussie thing of screaming obscenities out the car at how much of an idiot you think that person is, but instead, it's like maybe they've shat themselves, you know, like maybe they've shat themselves or the lactose intolerance. They just had a full cream mocha latte and it's starting to impact, and they got to get home before that impact completely impacts, right? And they're having to like race home, and that's why they've cut you off in traffic, because they've got to go right around that corner and narrowly miss a truck coming straight towards them just to get home because they've got to get to the toilet. That could help. That could help you through this year. If you just think maybe they shat themselves. It's just going to be maybe a nice philosophical view of why that person's being unreasonable. I mean, there could be 1,000 other reasons, but I think I like this one most, yeah, because why not? Makes it more entertaining in a way. It's sort of like your compassion is right there if you know that, or you think that maybe that person shut themselves. You're going to think, well, if I was in that situation, I shut myself, I probably would be a bit impatient. You know, I probably would be doing crazy things, maybe. So that could help. It's just a way of coping with idiots, I think. You know, so maybe use that. So this year, you know, if you sort of think of the cat and how it sort of watches things and sits there and then pounces. So that could work for you, unless you're trying to pick someone up at a nightclub, in which case I don't suggest that, because they may have a little bit of a problem of being physically assaulted. That could be an issue. Yeah, so don't do that. And as a psychic this year, you may find you pick up a lot more in dreams, or you may actually find that you get more creative or intuitive at nighttime. Quite literally, and that you know, spring could be particularly interesting. So wherever you are in the northern or southern hemisphere, or possibly the western or eastern, but you know, it's going to be a time to kind of, I think, use your patience, choose your moments very carefully, and then pounce at the right moment, but not in a way that harms anyone. Let's not harm people. Physical assault's a problem. Yeah, so things like that, and things around the home and the family will be more important. Now, it's a water rabbit, so what does that mean? I guess if you're born in the fire year anything, and or you have a fire constitution, which is different to what year you were born in, by the way. Sometimes it can be the same, but they're not worked out the same way. But if you have a fire constitution, or you are year of the fire something, you may just find this year it's not so much that you are burnt out or extinguished or overwhelmed, washed away. It may just be that there's extra pressure to be more focused on the things that you're actually passionate about and stripping away the things that are not actually helpful to you. This year, it's really good to be kind of aware of your emotional state and your dreams. So maybe journaling emotions and journaling dreams can help you sort of be more in touch with what's really going on for you. And certainly doing those sorts of things helps you develop your psychic and intuitive senses and to listen to it a lot more because you're slowing down enough to do that. So also, before I leave the show, it will be my first attendance at a psychic event expo this weekend at Cranbourne, at the Cranbourne Hall in Melbourne on Sunday, 10 till 4. It'll be my first time there since the passing of someone I want to pay tribute to and give honour to and respect to, and that is a very honourable, graceful and beautiful leader that was Maureen Barras in Melbourne. She was a leader in the spiritual sort of esoteric wellbeing and psychic communities in Australia. A wonderful, graceful, assertive leader that really was a beautiful support to me and many others in the field. It's been quite sad for me and many others, but we'll be all there on Sunday giving support to her daughter and her family. Leslie Williams and Sarah and everyone else, you know, so sending my condolences to them, but also, yeah, it's going to be sort of a big day for us all. But anyhow, we're going to be back next week, and there's more shows coming up on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV this afternoon, evening and morning, no matter where you are in the world. In the meantime, I'm going to get on to more clients today and available around the world, no matter where you are. Okay, catch you next time. Lots of love to you all.
Answers to any question. You'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light trance medium. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials. A1R Psychic Radio is pleased to announce that John Capello has joined us. John Capello and the Psychic Side, live from johncapello.com.
Hi, I'm psychic medium John Capello, and I want to invite you to go to my website at johncapello.com and learn more about my work. My career has spanned over 30 years, and I've had the privilege to share my psychic and mediumship abilities with thousands. I hope to hear from you soon.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Medicine for Your Spirit with Raylene Byrne. Live from RayleneByrne.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Medicine for Your Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Namaste, everybody. It's Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit, coming to you from Australia. This is my first show, and I'm hoping that what I stand for, what my passion is, and what my journey is will inspire many of you to dive in and find that medicine of your own spirit. So quite a few years ago, I was in a situation, like many of us are, unawake, stressed, and I found a particular person I had a treatment with. He was a doctor of Chinese medicine. And at the end of the treatment, or towards the end of the treatment, I actually looked at him and I said, do you think that there's got to be something more in this world than how we're living? Do you think there's something else? And in that moment, he jumped up, he started taking all the needles out of me, and he came over, he smiled, and he started tapping me on my high heart. And he said, I've been waiting for you to say that, because everything you need to know you already have within. And in that moment, something in me lit up. And I realised as I left his clinic that day that life looked completely different for me, and I knew what I had to do. And so one of my big things with people is to help you understand that you have everything you need to know. It's all there within you. That's our power. That's our uniqueness. That's our truth. That's our wisdom. So this is what my journey is in my soul experience, expressing myself as I am, is to help people understand that and find out how we can get into that level. So, this is my journey. It's all on my website, www.rayleneburn.com, and I'd love to hear from you. But on today's show, I just want to acknowledge that we are having an amazing full moon experience. It's a full moon in Libra. And it's known in your country, in America, it's known as the pink moon. This is a beautiful, beautiful time to reset, rejuvenate. In the Christian teachings, this was the time when Jesus went into the cave and he healed and inverted commas, resurrected. Whether that's true or not, hi, I'm not sure what's happening here. Anyway, he resurrected. I think I'm starting now. Hi, it's Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. I am here to help you remember that you are the medicine for your own spirit. This is what my gift is. Now, many, many, many years ago, it started when I went to see a practitioner. Oh, make this the start. I'm a bit confused here about what's happening. I can start now?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome. I'm Raylene Byrne, Medicine for Your Spirit. I am here as my soul's mission and my soul's expression to help people understand and remember that they have everything they need within, that they are their own medicine. We have it all. Now, it started for me many years ago when I was having some health issues, and I went and saw a doctor of Chinese medicine. And I had acupuncture needles everywhere. And I remember trying to be very profound and thought-provoking. And I looked over at him and I said, Doug, do you think that there's got to be more to life than how we're living? Do you really think There's got to be more. And he took all the needles out, tapped me on my high heart, and he said, everything you need to know you already have within. And everything changed for me. So this is what I'm here to support and help you with, is to remember that. So I do have a website with loads of offerings and loads of support, www.rayleneburn.com. And I just want to also mention that this is a full moon, very important full moon, Easter time. It's renewal, it's rejuvenation, it is resetting. So take the time over these next few days to put your feet on the earth and feel the pulse of the earth. Let your eyes absorb the beauty of nature. Let your ears really take on the sounds of silence. Let your heart be open to receive you and what's being offered, and this place of great, the ability to receive. It's really, really important over the next few days. You know, as I was saying to someone recently, in the Christian teachings, Jesus supposedly, you know, he got crucified and went off into a cave, and then he resurrected. And this is what the Easter celebration in the Christian faith is. But the analogy or the mythology of it, or the metaphysics of it, is sometimes we need to pull back. Sometimes we need to retreat, to connect in to that part of us that is great, that is profound, that is wise, that is knowing, that can heal. And sometimes we have to just pull in. So this time of the year, this Easter time, is very much around giving yourself the space to really drop in to yourself and reconnect. So apparently I have someone who has a question for me. Sorry? Doyla. So Doyla, I am here to help you remember that you are the medicine for your own spirit. How can I help? What is your question? How can I guide, support, and offer assistance?
Yes, I was wondering if you could give me any information on my family.
On your family?
Actually, my mom, yes. Yes.
So is your mother unwell?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, okay. And what's your mother's name?
Pat.
Okay. Just want to have a quick look here, Pat. Let me see, Pat. What have we got for Pat? This is from Doyla. This question from Doyla, re her mother. Here we go. Okay. The answer, or the message that's coming up, is the air spirit. It is all about knowledge and wisdom. It's all about getting information and looking at what is the best way forward in whatever is going on for your mother. For you, it's about understanding that there are other ways to support her, other ways to assist. So it's getting the information. The more information we can get about whatever the situation is, the more options you have in order to choose a better or the best way forward. So supporting your mum, for you, you need to understand the full story and get all the information and all the different ways that you can help her. And then you pick the way that's most aligned with you and that feels the best for you. Because if you're going to be in this position of helping and support, you need to be able. Do you understand that?
Yes, thank you.
Pardon?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. So while I'm here, while people are tuning in, what I'd like to let you all know is, for me, a few years ago, I used to do a lot of prophetic stuff. And what I found over the years is a lot of people were giving their power away by asking me, or people who do what I do, what the best life decisions for them would be, whether to get married, whether to leave a job, whether to sell a house, whether to take a trip, big life decisions. And I found that after a while, I was starting to feel a bit icky around the whole thing, because these are the big decisions that our soul needs to make. And when we give our power away to somebody else to tell us what we need to do or what we should do, what we're doing is we're not owning our own power, our own responsibility, our own wisdom. So for me, what I like to do with people is, if the information comes through, I'll pass it, but I'm more interested in helping people go, I know I have the solution within. I know it's here. How do I find it? How do I get it? How do I access it? That's what I like helping people with, how we can access the wisdom that we have within ourselves, because it's there. We can only find it when we have stillness and we can have some quiet and we can just drop in. So what I'd like to do with everyone right now is, just for all who's listening, just breathe with me. We're just going to take a deep breath in. Just breathe into our heart space. Breathe out. Take another breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're saying to yourself, I am here in this moment with myself right now. And breathe out. Take another breath in. I am open to myself and my higher connections. Breathe out. Last breath in. I gratefully, graciously receive the wisdom I have and the information coming to me. And breathe out. That can be enough sometimes to center you, to put you in a place of receptivity. And then you can ask the question, what is happening within me that I need to understand? What solution am I looking for? What this problem, this issue in my life needs an answer or an action? What is it? What's the next best thing I can do right now? So this is how I like to work, and this is what I love to encourage with people. So please come and have a look for me. I have a Facebook page, Medicine for Your Spirit. I have my own personal page, Raylene Byrne, on Facebook. And there are times when I do readings. I'll go online and I'll do free readings. I will do some meditations as well. So have a look out for all of that. Now, coming back to our beautiful new moon 4-day Easter time that most of us are experiencing around the world, this is a potent time. We are in massive shifts and changes on our planet, massive, which means we are shifting and changing as well. Very, very big shifts and changes within ourselves. So we are stepping out of a very mental, masculine paradigm. And now we're starting to move towards a very flowing, feminine, more creative sort of energy. And we are all in this process of big transformation. We are going to have to clear a lot of things. We're going to have to purify and purge. And we need assistance and guidance and support and help along the way. Some people are flying through it and other people are really struggling. So with everything that's happening around our world right now, we've got a lot going on, a lot of chaos. What I would like to suggest is simply this. Find a beautiful resilience practice or a spiritual practice for yourself that you can drop into every day. Whether that's a form of meditation, whether that's journaling, whether that's going for a walk in nature, whether that's sitting with your back against a tree, whether it's just leaning back with your hand on your heart and your solar plexus and breathing. Without music, without phones, without TV, without any technology, just being with yourself. When we can start to find 5 to 10 minutes a day doing this, What we're doing is we're earthing and grounding ourselves. We are offering ourselves stability and steadiness. Having stability and steadiness in this time of great transformation and great change means that we will not be distracted by some of the, I'm going to use the word nonsense, that's going on around the world. We are part of a collective energetic force. Whatever we give our energy to, we're involved in. Our energy needs to be very potently focused right now on how we want our life to be. What we are meant to be experiencing and expressing from our soul self. What medicine we have within ourselves that we can bring to life and offer into this world to add to this collective energetic force so it all elevates and it all rises, which means everybody benefits. That is the responsibility of light workers. That is the responsibility of people awakening. That is the responsibility of each person faced with change, faced with transformation, faced with transitionary times, to find your steadiness and your stability. I will say this. With this transformational time that we're going through, what we all need to remember right now is that we, every single human right now, is participating in the creation of a better world or a new energetic expression. This is the first time in over 5,000 years that every person on the planet can participate in this creation. So what does that mean? It means that we have to start knowing who we are. We have to start finding our medicine within. We have to start shining our hearts out. We have to find our steadiness and our stability and our gratefulness and our open hearts to make a difference and to hold that vision and hold that energy and expand it, radiate it out so it inspires and influences others to want something better, to engage in the change, to embrace the opportunities to find these places within ourselves that are going to make a difference in this world. This is the work I offer. This is the depth of stuff I like to go to. If you want to go deeper with me, I have amazing opportunity to do soul overviews, month by month, deeply personal, very much attuned to your soul, recorded for you, and then support once a month, half-hour call with me once a month to really do some fine tweaking. There's so much more on my website. I offer my heart and soul to the support of humanity, and I hope that you can find some wisdom in what I'm offering, and I look forward to being here every week and offering answers, support, medicine, stability, expansiveness, and lots and lots and lots of love. So right now, as I finish this show, what am I grateful for right now? I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my love and my heart with you all. Thank you. Namaste. I look forward to seeing you next week. And please, call in. I'll do a few more calls next time.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from TarotWithSteph.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Mini Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right. Hello, my friends, and happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. And also happy beautiful pink moon tonight into tomorrow. So I love this time, especially with readings, just because the energy is just magnified, and I've felt it all day today. I think sometimes people feel like, or they think that psychic mediums or positive people are, we never have our kind of our funks. And I've been in kind of one of those funks lately. And today has actually been just a beautiful day. It's been great. The energy's been great. And I can't help but think that it's because of this full moon. So the pink moon, and of all moons, one of my favorite colors. And the energy that we get from the full moon is it's magical. I'm telling you, if you can go outside and do a little moon bathing, as we call it. I know it sounds kind of crazy maybe to some, but it works. It really does. I love the moon as much as I love the sun and the energy from both. And remember to put your crystals out tonight or tomorrow. Excuse me. My gosh, I'm already getting this stuff in my throat. I'll have to explain what that is here in a moment. Anyhow, excuse me. So the crystals and your stones, when you put them outside or in your windowsill, I guess, if you will, they will absorb that full moon energy and ultimately be just even more beautiful and more magical and more powerful. I put all of mine out, which is a lot, and I even put out my jewelry, my bracelets, everything, just so that I can take advantage of that beautiful full moon energy. So remember to put stones and crystals, even your tarot cards, your angel cards, affirmation cards, all that kind of stuff to absorb the beautiful full moon energy. And then if you do moon water, which I do, I will put my water outside and fill up a big old glass jug of filtered water, then putting that outside with the full moon, with all of my crystals and stones around that glass container. I'm telling you, I have had my family. It's so crazy. I've actually done a taste test with my kids, and they actually picked out which was the moon water and which was just regular, just filtered water we have in the fridge. And I love the energy I get from moon water. I water my plants with my moon water, and it's just, I'm telling you. And even if it's one of those placebo effects, so be it. But anyway, full moon, pink moon, gonna be a great night. Tonight on my Stephanie's Tarot reading page on Facebook, I'll be doing 3 readings tonight from probably about 7:45 tonight, Mountain Time. And I usually, believe it or not, I usually do it until like 10 o'clock at night. So we just keep going and feeling that beautiful energy. So if you're listening and you're interested, make sure you hop on Stephanie's Tarot Reading page on Facebook, and you'll see the event that'll pop up about 7:45. Okay, Mountain Time. Keep that in mind. It is at 9:45 Eastern. All right. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start with my first affirmation. I'm going to pull this card, and then we'll take my first caller. So let's pull that affirmation and see what the beautiful universe is telling us. And I think, the number that I have been connected with today, which not very big number, but the number 3. Number 3 has been just a very strong number in many ways today. So the third card here is everybody's beautiful affirmation for the week. And this is beautiful. Okay. Affirmation says, I let go of the past, I trust in the future, and I accept the present moment. Okay, that is so impactful and so powerful. And there's no doubt in my mind that we all out there in the beautiful world can take something from this affirmation. So again, I let go of my past, I trust in the future, and I accept the present moment. And boy, I'll tell you, one of the most important things that I have learned is to just be present. Stop worrying about the past stuff that you can't change. Stop worrying about the future that you can't control. And if you need questions about your future, then you come to me. That's my job. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead, and I'm going to take my first caller tonight. And this is Penny from Pennsylvania. Hi, Penny.
Hi.
How are you?
I could be better.
Oh goodness, my friend. I'm so sorry. How can I help you tonight?
Well, we are doing like a court custody. Well, it's not a custody thing. It is a court thing because the little girl was running from my house. So then the state took her. So now we're doing hearings and stuff. Not big things. Not somebody's got kinship. But does it show that I will ever get her back?
Okay. Yeah, let me, I'm going to take a moment. I think I'm going to pull a couple cards for you. I use my cards just kind of a guide, maybe even just validations of what I'm getting. Give me just one second here, my friend. If it's quiet, just know I'm here. I'm just getting more focused, okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right, my friend. So the cards that I pulled for you, I'll just kind of tell you here, and I can show on the live here if anybody goes and actually watches, they can see the cards as well. Or if you want to go back and watch the replay. The first card that I pulled for you that I was drawn to is the 6 of Wands card. And so now in tarot, this is where I love using my cards to help give me some guidance. Wand, and this card is right side up. A wand is the best way I can describe this to people and to my clients is very powerful. You can get what you want, when you want, how you want it. The caveat to that, though, Penny, is that it's the universe also saying, well, just be careful what you wish for. And so that card really does resonate in a couple ways, and I'll tell you here in one moment. The second card that I pulled for you is this King of Cups card, and that card did come out of the deck upside down. So in that reverse position, if you will. Now, a cup, if you think about when you have a cup and it's upside down, the cup is emptied or it also represents that you are no longer or can no longer accept or take any more, whatever it may be. You know, sometimes this is a sign of just exhausted. I've had enough.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
I
I'll
don't
tell
know
you
how.
why. I'll tell you why once we're
Yeah.
done.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. You know, and I do feel that there is a very strong a man involved in some of this. That I feel, and this could very well be, you know, a guardian, or this could even be legal, you know. So
Judge. I think it's a judge.
the judge, yes, yes, yes. And that's where I was heading as well, because that king, right, is very powerful and makes decisions. So the one thing that I feel is going to be, I would say, your wand, if you want to look at it that way, is what's going to help you to have things happen, is really going to be having your ducks in a row. You know, just making sure that there are no I's undotted and no T's uncrossed.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I keep getting the month of June. I keep seeing June, and June.
Yeah, her birthday. That's her birthday month.
Ah, okay. Perfect. Perfect. Now, is she, when I see her, I also see the number 8, but then I go to 9. Can I ask how old she is? Is that
No, she's
appropriate?
6. She's 6.
Oh, she's 6? Okay.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
running to the neighbors, and so the state stepped in CYS, and we took her up to get her evaluated, right, to do a mental evaluation. And I told her after she banged her head for 4 hours that we can't bring her back here because she's not safe for herself to be here. So the doctors and them up there took it in their hands and told them that we told the people up at the hospital that we didn't want her anymore, and we said no, that's not what was said. But they turned it around like that. So now they're saying that the children and youth, or CYS, or however they call it, is whatever they say to the judge doesn't matter because we aren't going to get what we want because the judge just listens to CYS and nobody else.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I do want to say that, you know, the biggest part about, you know, I would say for success, to be able to get what you want, when you want, how you want, right? When that wand is coming in, it is really going to be even character witnesses. I keep seeing of, you know, of people doing, you know, letters of your, you know, validating and, you know, each character that is involved in the home. You know, these kind of things, kind of going above and beyond, I feel is going to have to be your wand per se. You know, and seeing that month of June, which also is the number 6, which is also how old she is. These are all beautiful validations of, you know, what I feel as a good outcome. And so just, I would say, watch for about that June time. But just be her, you know, be her advocate, my friend, you know, and just, you know, fight for what you want, you know. And I do see that just having everything in order is going to be key for you. Okay.
Like you said, exhausted. That little girl was making us lose sleep. She wouldn't go to sleep. We were watching her over the beds. We were watching every single thing because every time we were asleep, that's when she'd run to the neighbors. And then the neighbor got involved and got her mouth running. So that is who started all the crap. And the neighbors never liked me.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. It's, you know, and I can feel, you know, I've done this 27 years, Penny, and I can even just over phone or Zoom, I can connect with, you know, with people's energy and personality. And I feel like you do have, you know, a genuineness. I also feel like you have good intentions. You know, unfortunately, it's going to be one of those where you're going to have to just, like I said, go a little over and above to get her back.
Above, because the parents never were in the picture, right? But now I got to really ask this question. My daughter, the mother, is living with us, right? And she is doing nothing but causing more hassle, more trouble, more drama, more everything out here for us.
Oh,
And the two little kids that I have custody of, she's causing all kinds of drama, all kinds of crap. And she's got three little kids of her own, and she is not nice to them either. But what I need to know is, do you see her getting out of my house? Because we're trying to move and we're trying to get rid of her too.
oh wow. Yeah, you've got a lot on your plate. I can see why when I said that you're just done, right? You're overflowing. Um, I feel that the biggest thing, and really seeing, gosh, wow, this is coming pretty fast. Just, yeah, right about September, I do feel a huge change, and I can see a huge change coming, within
We're hoping that she will leave, like yesterday.
yeah, yeah. Just, stand your ground, my friend, and that's what I feel is going to be the biggest, your biggest weapon or asset. So, but
I have custody of.
yeah,
The little boy and
I,
little girl that I have custody of, or that are her kids, she's traumatizing them with what she's doing, because she's telling the other kids to do things that isn't right. And my two are used to how we raised them and not how she's never been around. And now she's making the other kids, oh, you don't even want to know how bad. It's bad.
oh my goodness. Well, I just, my heart goes out to you, my friend. I can feel the love that you have, and I will be sending you all of my love and healing energy and positive energy, and and I wish all of you, the success and the best, here in the next few months.
So you
But
think you and I'll get her?
I do. Between that June and September time, I would watch for that.
Well, hopefully we have a new place, because that's what we're trying to do too.
Yeah. Well, I will send you all of my good luck to you, and I'm going to grab my next caller that's waiting, but I'm wishing you so much luck, Penny, okay?
Great, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye. All right. Hey, I missed my next caller's name. I apologize. Hi, Hannah. This is Stephanie, the mini medium. How can I help you?
I was just seeing, but I've been going through a lot, here lately. With my father and just financial and just a lot of things going on with me.
Okay. Are you wanting just kind of a general reading of whatever comes
Yes,
in?
ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, my friend. Let me. I'm just gonna kind of mix up my cards here a bit and shuffle. But one of the things that I love is when before I get on and start my show, I meditate and I ask my spirit guides and any of my loved ones in the spiritual world to guide and give me what I need and the right answers. And the every beginning of my show, I pull an affirmation card, and I can't help but think this card really is so perfect for you. And I'll read that to you here just really quickly. But the affirmation says that I let go of the past, I trust in the future, and I accept the present moment. And I really feel as I've been listening just to you and connecting with my intuition and, you do, are you there? Did I lose you, Hannah?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I heard a weird noise. But I can feel, the heaviness, if you will. And a lot of it I do feel is, going back to what this affirmation says of letting go of that past but trusting that the universe or God or whoever you feel, is going to bring you the future that you deserve. I do feel, it's just some things I'm seeing for you too is you're very much an empath. I feel that your empathic ways can be very draining. Are you very drawn to people when you go in a room? You can feel their energy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. And being an empath can be it can be a bit draining. I can relate. I'll go into even just a restaurant, and even just feeling the energy sometimes can be overwhelming, or I would say underwhelming sometimes. But so I would say kind of just a suggestion and maybe some advice is, and I do this every day. I get up and I try to meditate and try to get myself focused for the day. But I also envision a very protective, bright white light around me to protect me from taking in any of that outside energy. And I'll tell you, it's very powerful, and it can work. So try that. And that's just kind of a little suggestion I want to throw out. Can I ask, how do you connect with the number 9? I keep seeing 9, and that's September or the 9th of a month. Do you resonate with that?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay. I want you to keep that in mind, that month of September, or even here in about 9 weeks, which I guess in 9 weeks, that puts us 2 months out, May, June. Yeah. So about the end of June, 1st of July, just be very mindful, because I do feel a sense of changes even within your location, your family dynamics. So just, yeah. Are you thinking about moving here soon or renovating your place? Because I'm seeing boxes.
Yes, I was thinking about getting my own place. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I feel that's a really good first start, taking these kind of baby steps. I just as I'm connecting with you, I feel too much coming your way will overwhelm you to where you just kind of freeze up, and don't want to move much further. So baby steps through this. So watch about that September or about the July time, that 9 weeks or the month of September. Okay. Okay. Can I ask, as I'm sitting here, I'm just starting to, this is what happens. I start to feel a shift in the energy in my room. And boy, I'll tell you, you have a very beautiful, this is a mother. This is a mother energy. This is a soul of a mother. And very nurturing, very much a protector. Now, has your mom passed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I feel all of a sudden she's showing me this concern for you, and watching over and seeing, what what the trials and tribulations you've been through. And then she shows me this month, April, as being very important, the month of April. Is there a birthday, anniversary?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. This month of April, you do connect with that?
No, not in April.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. There's, yeah, she's very persistent. she's very persistent. She's showing me this month that there's a anniversary or a celebration So just keep that in mind. I know you'll connect with it.
Okay.
There's, yeah, very significant celebration, birthday, anniversary this month. She keeps showing me. So,
well, my nephew just found out that they're having a baby.
Oh, well, that's what it is.
Yes, ma'am. And that's her grandson. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's exactly what it is, Hannah. Oh, that's beautiful. And she's laughing. I can feel her as she's laughing, and I just got chills. Just that's my validation of yes, that's what she was trying to say. So, no, she's just validating her presence, letting us know she's watching over. And she does say that she needs you to really pay attention to she's shown me blood sugars, your blood sugar levels.
Yes, my blood sugar has been very bad.
Yeah, she says that you got to keep that under control, okay? Watch for that. And she says, she's showing me the infinity symbol. So that's the number 8 or the infinity symbol. So this is also my sign for, her letting you know that she's, with you always and forever, and the love of the infinity for you. She's a very protective energy, and I love that she just kind of really came in very fast. She did not hesitate whatsoever. she's a beautiful, beautiful energy, but I know I'm down to about 30 seconds with my show, but can I just say, I really feel as these next few months come that you will find that guidance and that peace. But overall, just take that leap of faith, my friend, okay? And I do see things getting better for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Hannah. Well, thank you so much for calling in. It was so beautiful to meet you, and I wish you all the luck, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, friends, this is your mini medium, and I will see you guys next week, Wednesday. Happy full moon. Bye, guys.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, coming to you once again live from the city of New York, where, contrary to media reports, people are not getting machine gunned in the streets. In fact, ever since the lockdowns a couple of years ago, this is a far friendlier town. I'm in Midtown, so my area is just in the theater district near Times Square. So we get a lot of people from all over the world visiting us here, and even the locals are friendly. New Yorkers have a reputation for being nasty. Forget about it. I can't even leave the house without getting into 2 or 3 conversations, just like between here and the grocery store, which is around the corner. People just are starved to talk and meet each other, and are they sick of politics? Let me tell you, that's my own unofficial straw poll. Why is it called a straw poll anyway? I'll have to look that up sometime. Speaking of straws, I had my, the summer is 8 days old, and I had my first gin and tonic today, and my second and my third of the summer. And I'm able to do that and sound so clear and level-headed because at my advanced age, I use like about a tablespoon of gin in each gin and tonic. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. But I love the crispy, the refreshingness of gin and tonic with lime. Oh, man, that is just wonderful. To me, that's the second best thing you can do with lime. First best is key lime pie. Outstanding. I used to make such a wonderful key lime pie. I brought one to a restaurant a friend of mine owned years ago, and the people each got a slice, and then they put it in the refrigerator, and then unbeknownst to even the owner of the place, the staff sold it. They thought, oh, look, we have key lime pie on the menu. Now, I can't do that because I'm not, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many thousands of regulations there are if you want to go into the food business, which is one of the reasons I didn't. But if you want to get into that, wow, I mean, people talk about, well, we need smaller government. One of the areas, I'm not going to get into the political aspects of it, but you can take years to satisfy the requirements for the labeling of a package when you sell food. So I steer clear of that kind of stuff. I have lots of nice things for sale because I think it's nice to sell nice things, and I unfortunately I had to raise my prices lately because, in case you hadn't noticed, right, things are getting more and more expensive. But I did raise. This is just fair warning for the people who go to mojoacademy.org. Mojoacademy.org. You don't have to go to mojoacademy.org. I'm mentioning that over and over again. But yeah, because, I do say, look, this is really not the time to spend money on extraneous things. But there are a couple of books at mojoacademy.org that I think they rise to the level of necessity, especially in the times that we're in now, where, unfortunately, we have a lot of people in this country right now scared to death over things they don't understand. They think they understand it. That's the essence of fear, I suppose. But everything is going to move along just fine. This is a time of change, and change scares people. And that's why I think one of the things that I recommend the most is a book called Unmasking Fear. It was written in 1919. I wrote two introductions to the updated version of it because I wasn't old enough to write in 1919. But it's a book that is very important, and I love it when people buy it and talk about it, because it is about the way certain power structures in the world control people by keeping them afraid, you see. Now, I always say that everything you need to know about politics you can see in the movie The Music Man, where the guy whips everybody up into a frenzy over a problem that doesn't exist just so that he can sell them a solution, okay? We see this all the time. And people, I'm sorry to have to say this, but fear is addicting. Physically, fear is addicting because there's certain hormones that get released when the adrenaline goes running, and it changes the body, it changes the mind. And unfortunately, there are people who become addicted to fear, and they need a dose of fear, and they're always going to be afraid. And if you try to show them that what they're afraid of isn't really scary, they'll cut your throat. You're taking away something that's most important. There are, for some reason, people who only feel alive when they're scared. This is where we get these like vertical drop roller coasters. A good old-fashioned roller coaster isn't enough for our jaded society. But this book, Unmasking Fear, when it was written, there wasn't even radio. There was no mass media. People didn't understand. Now, you want to understand why mass media has the power to scare you? And you want to understand when they realized it? Go to YouTube, look online for the 1930s. Was it 39, I guess, was it, or 38? See how terrible I am with dates. I can tell you a story about the worst date I ever had, but that's a little later. Listen to the Orson Welles famous, everyone knows about it, but very few people have actually heard it. the Orson Welles War of the Worlds broadcast. Here's something that's fascinating to maybe 4 people listening. That script was actually edited down and written by the actor Paul Stewart, which very few people, some of you out there have got to be Paul Stewart fans, like I am. You'll know him when you see him. He's wonderful in Kiss Me Deadly. But this was the thing that achieved legendary status when Orson Welles pretended to have Martians invading New Jersey. And people believed it. Now, was there nationwide panic the way the newspapers reported it the next day? No. There are some interesting books about why newspapers misreported it. However, enough people did believe it. Enough people did believe that something could be launched, a spaceship could be launched on Mars and land in New Jersey 8 minutes later, which on its own is ludicrous, that the powers that be at the time learned that whatever people hear from a well-modulated voice over the radio and later television will be believed by a certain percentage of the people. And that's what we have now. You say, how can this person or that person lie? Well, because it works, and that there's just no other way around it. But using fear, the one thing that I spent years in the news business and I spent years in politics. And one thing is the flip side of the other. I know that a lot of you understand that there's a direct politics to media pipeline, and I was on it. How can I phrase this? If you're busy being scared, you're not going to think about what's coming up. You're not going to be rational about things. When you're scared, the blood drains from your brain, literally. It goes to your arms and your legs, so that you can run or fight. It's a fight or flight syndrome. Literally, scaring you makes you dumber. We've all been startled and then found out that it was scared and it was something silly. I got the bejabbers scared out of me one night when I saw myself in a mirror. Now, I know I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but at that point, it was the middle of the night in somebody else's apartment. I was visiting a friend. I couldn't have been more than 10 years old, at least. I was in the area of about 10 years old when there had been a massive power failure, and I didn't know my way around, and I turned a corner in the apartment in the dark, and there was a person coming right at me, and it was me in a mirror, but I didn't know that because I was scared, you see. So I didn't even recognize myself. See? What is the expression people use? I want you to repeat this to yourself because this is behind all the attempts to scare you in media. Scared out of your wits. Okay? What are your wits? Your wits are your intelligent faculties. Scared out of your wits. That's the holy grail of broadcasting. And this book, Unmasking Fear, was written before broadcasting, which is up at the time it was written, broadcasting was a farming term. It had to do with scattering seeds. That was broadcasting your seed. Just throw it across the field. So they picked up that as a metaphor for running things on mass media, which prior to radio never existed. I mean, nobody was hunched over the Morse code machine. I think the correct word is telegraph, Elliot, and waiting for fight results. So anyway, this is by way of my mentioning mojoacademy.org and why I like to sell ethical products. I don't sell anything that's unethical. I don't sell a magical kit that will cure this or that problem. I do sell magical kits that can help you deal with these problems. I don't sell them very often because most of the time I dissuade people from buying them. Brilliant sales technique, right, to talk people out of the sale. But if a person doesn't need it, I don't want to sell it to them. I explain that in my book. Reverend Elliot Explains It All. See, isn't that funny how everything I bring up now is related to a product I'm pushing? And at the same time, though, you see, I'm telling you, don't buy anything from me. And I mean it sincerely. Because I sell some of the pendants that I have, which have magical symbols on them, and I can. And anybody buys those, and you don't know how to use it, just contact me and I'll let you know. But like I said, we're in very dangerous times right now because people are scared. And if you're under 40, which I'm trusting some of you are, you never experienced inflation like this. Never. And all I'll tell you, without, this is nothing magical. This is no serious revelation. The only way you can fix and stop inflation is with recession. And recession, if it gets out of control, becomes a depression. Now, we have not heard that word depression since 1932, when the Great Depression happened. I remember a radio personality asking, what was so great about the Depression? I didn't think it was very good. Why do they call it the great? No, great means huge. This is what, in fact, originally was meant when people referred to the United States as this great land of ours. They meant that it goes from coast to coast, that it's huge, it's colossal. And of course, these things change, because, to me, my favorite word that shifted is incredible. People think incredible means wonderful. Incredible means lacking in credibility and can't be believed. Now, a few years ago, about 15, 20 years ago, there was a guy advertising a product on the radio here, which was garbage. It was a fake product. It was a pseudo-medical thing. It was garbage. It was baloney. I'm using the most polite words I can in mixed company. But he didn't get into trouble. When they tried to shut him down, he said, I told people it was not real, because his ad began with the words, everything I'm about to tell you now is completely incredible. Now, what he was saying was, don't believe me. But everybody heard it as, being, wow, that's incredible. That is not what incredible means. So, boy, am I going on a tangent here. My favorite fruit is a tangent. The thing is that we have fear now, and the money supply is shrinking in value. You can't do that accidentally, I might add. For some reason I can't even fathom, people wanted to do this, and they did it. Now, they won't use the word depression. That's what got me on words changing, because of the images that conjures up of people selling apples, and the mythology that the stock market crashed in October of 1929 and the next day the Depression started. No, the Depression started a little bit later. There, a couple of years after that, but it was still bad after the stock market crash. But we have two bad choices now. We can leave things the way they are, and bit by bit, your savings and your money will go away. Your house will be worth more, but nobody will be able to buy it. Or they can engineer a recession, and it will be really bad for about 2 years with high unemployment. But after that, we'll be fine. And people don't want to do that. People really resent the idea of having to suffer to get something. And I understand that. And they should question. They should ask questions like, why was this done? So I'm going to be getting tarot readings tonight. You watch, that have a lot of new beginnings in them. Aces, the Wheel of Fortune. I pull a card before each show to give me a sense of what's going on in the environment. And the card I got was the Wheel of Fortune, which is we're in changing times. I certainly hope, because we can't maintain what's going on now. We can't keep this up because people are suffering, and there's no need for it. The problem is that for the first couple of years, the cure is worse than the disease. The people of Japan took care of this many years ago when they had rampant inflation, and the government told them what they were going to do. Said, we are, they didn't lie to them. They didn't say everything is fine. Everybody knew it wasn't. And they said, here's what we're going to do. There's going to be a recession. People are going to be struggling. It's going to hurt a lot of people, but you're going to be fine in a couple of years. So they asked people to help each other and work together, right? Help your neighbors, work together, and we'll all get through this. And they did. And Japan emerged as one of the strongest economies on the planet. Well, you can't do that at a time when the political and media people are pushing division. We're supposed to hate people who disagree with us. And this is very important. This comes out as the sum and substance of the book, Unmasking Fear, because you're not supposed to disagree with somebody. You're supposed to cancel them. You're supposed to eradicate them. You're supposed to fear them if they disagree with you. Anytime I state an opinion, when I get into political discussion. I do it with the underlying assumption that I could be wrong. Because if I'm willing to assume that you're wrong, then I have to understand that you can assume that I'm wrong. And you may have a point, and that's called learning. But right now, we have a situation when we need it the least, where it's my team is better than your team, and I'm going to vote for my team. But that's changing. People are switching teams. I won't go into that too deeply because that's beyond the scope of what we're doing here. But I'm just saying that the problem we're facing now is far from transitory, and it's going to hurt people. And this is the time when you may want to take a look at some of the books that I have at mojoacademy.org. Not all of them. I mean, I don't think you need the books like on numerology, or I don't think you need the book about William Jennings Bryan's last speech, things like that. They're interesting and they're historical. But what we need now is a toolbox, man. We need tools to deal with what's being thrust upon us by people who claim to love us and care of us and have our best interest at heart. Okay. I think you know where I'm going with that. So, I'm not going to get political on this because politics comes and goes. And, anyone over 40 has been here before. We've seen it before, and we knew we'd see it again. And you can't plausibly say that everything is fine and we don't need to do anything. But prepare yourselves mentally and emotionally, because there are people who want to scare you. That's all I want to get across now. Bad things, we don't like when bad things happen, but bad things happen. And that is not to say that bad things don't make us better. The old thing, whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Well, I'm not sure I want to be made stronger that way. That's a good swift kick in the groin is not going to make me stronger tomorrow, but so don't do that to me. But what I'm telling you is there's a highly paid industry out there to scare you, and I am here to give you positive energy and hope in terms of reality, which is that the reality is there is a whole industry which is coextent with politics, which is designed to scare you. So if you're feeling scared, okay. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to change things that you can't change? Or are you going to change the things that you can change, which are like essentially you? You can change you. See? And then you'll be stronger for that. That's the long way of saying, come on, guys, don't be scared needlessly. Fear is important, by the way. Fear is the emotion that tells us something's wrong. When you're constantly in fear, that's terror, and that's no good. We punish terrorists because terror is no good. Same thing with anger. Anger is good. Anger is the feeling that tells you that you've been mistreated. Constant anger is rage, and that will kill you. It will kill you. So check out certain things like Reverend Elliott Explains It All. See, I've got things in that book that'll show you how to use meditation techniques to clear the negative energy away from you. There's recordings there at mojoacademy.org for cleansing negative energy. It works. Let me tell you, it works. This is, I think, one of the greatest inventions of modern history was the iPod. I know they're not going to be making them anymore, but there's still music players that you can use. And just put a meditation on that, pop it on your head at night, and go to sleep listening to it. And you'll be amazed at what good stuff it can do. And you can see, I even have the Three Stooges meditation disc at mojoacademy.org. And all these things are there to help. Psycholaxation. Now that was a recording. Could you imagine? That was a record from 1955 as a guided meditation, possibly one of the first ones. You'd have to put what we would call the hi-fi right near the bed in those days. Now you can just pop earbuds on and listen to psycholaxation. These are all things that will help you. And that's why I mentioned mojoacademy.org. Like I said, in times like these, I'm torn between not wanting to do any hard pressure sales technique stuff, which I don't do anyway. But there are things there that will change your life. That was the reason that we started Mojo Brothers Publishing. There are things there that will change your life, and among them will be those things like the Three Stooges meditation. The Shemp. It's a Shemp meditation disc. I know it sounds silly, but it works. It's been around since the 70s and was an underground cassette, and you can get a CD of it and get that audio out and put it into your player. Psycholaxation, that has helped me beautifully. I have chakra meditations there that will clear your negative energy because, folks, negative energy is coming at you like a tidal wave right now. And they're counting on it. They're running negative energy and negative stuff on television constantly to get you to be messed up. Don't allow it. Okay, we're going to wrap this up and get to the tarot readings, which is why we're here. But I'm doing this because this environment of fear, anger, rage, deliberately foisted upon us by people who make money. They do it for money to hurt people. We got to bring an end to this. And I want you all to take responsibility for cleansing your own mind and spirit of the negative, ugly energies that highly paid people are putting there. Let me tell you something, because I've done it. I opened up by saying I had my first gin and tonic of the summer today. You don't, just please trust me on this. You do not want to sit down in a bar and have drinks with news people, because your anger level and your blood pressure will rise. They are not what you think they are. They're not Walter Cronkite sitting in a room just giving you the news. These are these are like pushers of fear. And they know it and they like it. I'll be happy to talk to any of you off the air about this if you want to. I mean, quite seriously. My email is asktarot, ASKTAROT, @earthlink.net. Anybody wants to get in touch with me about any of this, you just drop me a line. Also, if you want a free tarot mini reading, that's my gift to the Ask One Radio audience. Drop me a line there. asktarot@earthlink.net. I've been shuffling up the cards, you see. And it won't help because the cards are going to show that these are times of change and negativity. But we're going to deal with it on an individual level. There goes my throat. Hang on. There we are. The golden throat is back. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now to declare sacred space, and we're going to get to our first reading. Draw back the curtain on the magical window for Angela in Brooklyn. Hi, Angela. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, fellow New Yorker?
Oh, I guess I'm okay. Just
well, maybe
trying.
we can make it better. It is tiring, you know. I mean, here we keep hearing about how horrible things are in New York now, and we're here, you know. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, things have been better, but I don't think of it as horrible. I don't know. So
no, I don't think
tell
of
you?
it as horrible either. I love New York.
Yeah, you know, the people outside of New York, a lot of people, they still think that Death Wish was what New York was really like. You know, even back then, New York wasn't like that. You know, so
I still love going in the city. I mean, it's coming back, and I'm really happy that
Yeah. I mean, we have a few nuts around, but for a city of 8.5 million people, goodness, you know.
They were always there.
Yes, they were. So, Angela, what can I look at for you?
Well, since my husband's been gone a few years, and right now, financially, I'm kind of struggling, but I have my house, and I have an apartment that I was renting, a co-op, and I'm in the process of selling it, but it's a lot of problems with the real estate. It's been a disaster, and I just hope it's going to end soon without me going, making a little bit of a profit, but I'm having a very hard time in, trusting the real estate guy, and I hope it ends soon because financially I need it to end.
Yeah, well, I tell you, while you started talking, before you told me what was on your mind, the first card I got was the King of Coins, which is about money, which is about mastering money and dealing with money. So I could see that was the issue. There's also sadness involved. I guess that relates to the loss of your husband, because I have the Nine of Swords here. So there's still a lot of sadness going on in around that, and there always will be, I'm sure.
And then I have family issues. Family makes me crazy and stuff.
Oh, well, hey, I'm
that's kind of normal.
I know. I actually fired my family long ago. So I did. I said right out, so genetics doesn't give you a special privilege to abuse me, folks. So
well, they do anyway.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me tell you, there's changes coming. That's the Wheel of Fortune. There's changes coming your way, and they're going to be good changes, because the next card is the Eight of Cups, and that is a card of a person who gets from where she is, to something, and leaves something that isn't working, which is where you are, and is going to something better. So you're working on improving yourself, and I see that it's going to pay off, because the next card is the Nine of Cups, and that's a card of satisfaction and enjoyment. It's also a card that is a person who knows how to enjoy life. There's a warning in that card that people may be envious of you because of that you're going to live well. And there's the Ace of Cups too. So the two things these are very good cards here. The two things that are most important to you are financial but emotional. I mean, you're not one of these people who's going to do anything for money. That it has to feel right for you, and you're going to get that. You're going to do that. In fact, I've got the Ten of Cups, which is a great card of happiness and joy. So you will come through this okay. It's one of the quirks of inflation is that real estate gets to bring in more money than it would ordinarily. It's one of those strange things. That's why when inflation starts coming, it looks like a good time at first. It's because because there's a lot of money around, and there was a lot of money being spent. So there's still a chance that things will work out well for you. In fact, I have a card here which is the Six of Rods, which is great success and triumph. So I do think that things are going to work out really well for you.
And what about emotionally and all that? I mean, I do keep busy. I do have friends and stuff, but I'm still kind of stuck.
Well, I there's nothing you can do except understand that it's the way of life. When we outlive somebody who was that close to us, it's not fair. You know what I mean? That's about it. But the Ace of Cups is here, which is a rebirth of emotional stuff. The aces are beginnings, and the cups are joy and happiness and affairs of the heart. And, so it's telling me that, this is the best of all of them. This is the same thing on steroids. It's the Sun, which is a card of healing and health and growth. So I think you're going to come through okay. Let me just shuffle it up one more and get one more card.
Okay.
And see if that adds anything to it, because it's a boringly happy reading, So let's see what we get here. This probably relates to the real estate thing. It's the Three of Rods, and that is about you in partnership with somebody else are waiting for the results to happen, and the results will happen. The results will come in.
Okay.
So hang in there, and remember, if you don't feel right about a professional who's working on your behalf, speak to that person and consider finding somebody else. This is because this is a time of this is a time when people who have assets have a little bit more power than usual. Like if you're one of those lucky people who has some cash to deal with, you'll get better interest rates now. That's a byproduct of inflation, and you gotta take it where you get it, right? But I think you're going to come out of this okay.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye now. And let's shuffle up the cards again. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on the Ask One Radio Network, where we get together every Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific to look through the magical window of the tarot, which we're going to do right now for Donna in Del City, Oklahoma. Hi, Donna. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Well, let's see what we can do to make that better. What can I look at for you?
Oh my goodness. Everything helps.
Was there anything in particular you want to look at?
Maybe just well, no, not really.
Well, let me ask you this.
Uh,
Let me ask you this question. I have a card here that is a card of somebody who feels stuck and is not moving and not going anywhere. Is that what you're feeling?
Oh yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
I said it tonight. Yes, I did.
That's the 8 of Swords.
Yeah, it seems like you're. It's just a circle. Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can take a look at what that's all about, because I do see better times coming for you, and coming soon, I might add, because that's the 8 of Rods. That means whatever's coming your way is in motion now. This is vague, but it says, because I'm looking at the bigger picture, did something happen that made you sad recently?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Because I've got,
yeah.
I have this. You don't have to tell me more than you want to. You know, if you don't want to go into detail, that's absolutely fine. But I'm seeing that you're feeling stuck, which you confirmed. The 3 of Swords is a card of sadness, and I don't want to go into more than that, because you know what it means. You know what I'm talking about. You know why you're feeling sad, and if you don't want to go into it, I certainly am not going to force you to go into that in front of all these people. But I do see the situation changing and getting better for you, and sooner than you think. Not right away, but sooner than you think. You're
blowing my mind, because everything you're hitting right on the head. Right on the head. Yes.
Is there a legal matter in your life right now?
Yes, but I can't get anywhere with it. I had a daughter that was in an accident and killed, and I don't know. I wasn't told what happened. I was told she was in an accident, didn't survive, but she was hit by a train, and I never identified the body. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Because I've got cards that indicate both a legal issue and sadness. So now what you. I was going to ask you about the sad part, but you just told us. So. Yeah, these are all the things. The cards are showing me exactly what's on your mind, and the cards are showing me exactly what the issues are. Now, that doesn't really help, because let's see if we can shuffle them up and see what it's going to be like in the near future here. See if we can get some kind of idea about where this is leading you. This is the thing about tarot, which is just astounding to me. As many years as I've been doing this, which is about 42,000 years in human years, it never ceases to amaze me how these cards can get right to what's going on. Okay, now again, I shuffled up the cards. You heard them, but I've got still the 9 of Swords, which is the card of great sadness. And the Judgment card. That's why I asked about the law. These cards came back. And then I have another one for you, which is about the Judgment card is about getting what you deserve. It's getting what belongs to you. It's getting what you merit. And the Temperance card is here. The Temperance card is telling me, because we're looking at the future here, that your life balance will be restored in your life. It is unbalanced now, and it should be, because bad things happened. And they throw us off balance, so there's no shame in that. But the 2 cards I'm seeing for your future are the Temperance card, which means that balance will be restored, and the 10 of Swords, which means that the worst is over, and you're still here, and you're going to get up and keep going. And just to be sure, I got the Justice card. That means there's definitely going to be some action in terms of the legal stuff that you're pursuing. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
So right now you're in the thick of it, and it's upsetting. As somebody who just concluded a couple of years of legal action myself, that I know how that weighs on the mind. But I'm seeing that the Judgment and Justice cards are pretty damn good indication that you're going to get justice here in this case. So hang in there, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to light a candle for you after the show to send positive energy your way. How's that?
That's great.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up again. See, it's amazing to me how tarot goes right to the heart of what's going on. Now, if it doesn't, if you know, because every time I ask the question like, did you have a loss recently? You know, I'm making an inference from the cards that I pull, but I'm always prepared for it to be wrong. It rarely is wrong. And that's not me. That's not, look what a great tarot reader I am. You know, no. This is, man, that is such a trap in the esoteric world when the magician starts to take credit for the work. But it's not. We work the system. In fact, if you remember the stories, if you remember your Bible stories, this is why Moses was denied entry into the promised land. You know, could you imagine wandering around for all these years and not getting allowed in? Because he did something. He claimed credit for a miracle that he didn't do. And he needed to be brought down a peg for that one. And that's why he was denied entry in the promised land. Courtney in California is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good, good. Anything special you want to look at, or should I just look through the cards and see what shows up?
I kind of wanted to talk about like my past life. I've always felt really connected to Marilyn Monroe, and I don't know if there's actually something there. So if we could tap into that.
I had an interesting experience with Arthur Miller, to whom she was married for a while. You know, that was a weird experience. There was a guy who, I'll tell you briefly, there was a guy who was famous in the 1960s who by the 1990s, he had a lot of weird ideas, but he was a fascinating guy. He made a lot of things happen. And I introduced him to a literary agent, and we were sitting in a restaurant having lunch, and he used to get up and walk out of the restaurant every few minutes because next door was an off-track betting parlor, which we used to have in New York. Only New York City could run a bookie joint and blow it and ruin it. So they had to be shut down. But he was a little bit of an overpowering personality, this man, and he could inflate his ego a bit. And one of the times he left the restaurant to go to check on his bets, the agent turned to me and says, "Who does he think he is, Arthur Miller?" And guess who walked into the restaurant the moment she said that? It was Arthur Miller.
Oh my gosh.
Which is this kind of stuff that happened around this guy all the time. So, you know, hey, what can I tell you? This is, you know, if you feel a connection, it can be real. Now, what I can do is look at some stuff for you.
I'm also a
excellent.
medium, and so there's so many things that we just connect. Like the same cat that she had, the same dog that she had, the same color hair, same color eyes, same height, same weight, same body shape. I mean, it's just down to like everything. It's just insane. I was adopted. I was passed through homes myself. I had 3 loves in my life. I'm very young. I could say 24, but I feel like I've lived 1,000 lifetimes. I just being a medium, I've never been able to read myself unless I'm talking to someone else.
There's an image in Buddhism about lifetimes. Like how many lifetimes how long do we have to do this? And the image is this. Picture a huge mountain like the size of Mount Everest, right? Yeah. And a bird flies by Mount Everest with a piece of silk in its beak. And the piece of silk brushes against the top of Mount Everest. And that bird flies by once a year. The amount of time we need is the amount of time it takes that bird with the silk to wear the mountain down.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, you know, it's in Hinduism, of course, you know, they deal in hundreds of thousands of year installments, kalpas and things like that. So, yeah, you know, have you done anything like Akashic record meditations?
I've done multiple meditations with worldwide known psychics multiple times. Worked with them. A few times, though, I have ended up in like a psych ward just from getting overloaded from, being really spiritual and my mediumship and psychicism coming out. But I got more of a grip on it. My last time that I was at the hospital was last October. I got out, and it was only for a month. It was a really long time. That was probably the longest. But
I hope everything is okay.
Yeah,
I hope everything's okay. Yeah.
much better.
A month in the hospital is a nightmare, let's face it.
Yeah, no, it is, definitely.
So you seem pretty clear about what you want. Now, let me just preface this also just quickly by saying I understand where you're coming from because I have even from childhood, have very clear images of a previous existence of my own.
Yes, and I have those too. When I've done past life regressions, I've seen images of, and this will freak some people out on the air listening, but I've had, where I've seen specifically 2 to 3 men in suits around me and walking outside of my house to the side of my trellis, and then it just gets black from there. And I've always been afraid of suffocating for some reason, and I do not like taking medicine. They tried to get me on schizophrenic medications and what they did to Marilyn, basically. And I've had just some really crazy experiences happen where I should not be here today, and somehow I am.
Well, you're here, and you're aware. Yeah. That's a good sign. I'm not doing this as a plug, but there is a book that my company reprinted called "How I Discovered My Mediumship." And it was by probably the most famous American medium of the early 20th century, which means she's totally forgotten now. But see, she's been through. She explains what it's like growing up that way, and how everyone treated her like she was a lunatic. And yet she gained an astonishing reputation as a very clear medical medium. In fact.
Yeah, I'm actually able to pick up on people's health problems that they're going through. I mean, it's crazy the things that I'm able to pick up on. I thought I was just a medium at first, but then I was able to pick up on like what's going on with your left eye or your right knee or your shoulder or your back pain or your stomach, like even your heart. Like I could pick up on things that I just should not be able to. And with Marilyn Monroe, she also was very much into finding out about things. She visited Area 51 with John F. Kennedy. I mean, she did so many things.
Well, I
got her comrade too.
I live just a few blocks away from the Actors Studio, so
wow.
have you ever visited there? I mean, that might be you might just standing near that building might do things for you, might bring things up.
I've actually been to New York one time. I swam in the Hudson River in Albany, and then I went to the Times Square, and then I went to Ellis Island to see like my history of like my biological family, and we dug into it a little bit because there's not much that I really know. I never knew my father, just like Marilyn Monroe. I still don't know him to this day. There's some mystery there. And my mother, she was in and out of prisons.
And keep up with the meditation work, because you do have memories in there that you don't know you have. From this life, even because our memories go way back. I'm running short on time here, but I would recommend because you do see. I sometimes hear from people in your situation who don't understand what's happening to them or why. You're not in that. Yeah. You seem further along with that, which is fine. I mean, that'll help you. But I do think that if you look at mojoacademy.org and look at the book Understanding How I Discovered My Mediumship, there may be some things that you could pick up there that'll help you out, because it's a very moving story of a woman who survived all of the attempts to put her down in a way, So give it a shot. It may
through my hospitalization.
It may help you out. Let me tell you that the one thing I'm seeing here. Just let me leave you with this, since I'm here for tarot. There's a 4 of Cups is the card I get for you, and that is a card that shows a person looking at 3 cups. And there's another cup coming out of a cloud in a hand, and the person doesn't see it yet. That's a card of hidden influences. And that's important because that's what you're talking about. Is you want to get a handle on those hidden influences that are in your life.
Yes.
So, see what you can do through meditation. I recommend the Tara Sutphin's meditation for Akashic memories. That's a very good one. If you can find that, I think it's still for sale. If not, if you have a problem with it, I can look around to see where it is and see if I can get you a copy. But that does very good too. But how I discovered my mediumship might help you. And remember, the point of this book is that you're dealing with hidden influences, and you know that, and you're not scared of them. That's the important thing. I've got to run now. I want to see if I can get one more call in, but it's been great talking to you, and I wish you all the best with this. And come to New York again and see if you can stand in front of the Actors Studio on 44th Street and see what happens. Because you were so close when you go to Times Square. Times Square is just a couple of blocks away. This is 44th between 9th Avenue and 10th. Okay?
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's see if we can get one more call in. We have a few minutes, and that would be Carrie in South Dakota. Hi, Carrie. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi. We've just got a couple of minutes to go here. So what can I look up for you?
I'm wondering if you can tell me anything. I'm looking at possibly filing for bankruptcy, and if that is a good option for me or not.
Well, let me tell you, the first thing is all three cards here that I pulled out while you were starting to talk to me are about money. So, yeah. The 10 of Cups is the final card, which is a card of happiness and success and joy. So it's something worth pursuing. I definitely don't think that you should take the advice of the tarot cards in like a minute and a half reading. But it does look like this is a decent option. Because the end result I'm seeing is success.
Okay. Thank you so much.
There's a success and emotional well-being. So that it's the best thing I could do is the question would be, and this is the really best for tarot, is if you go for the bankruptcy route, how will that work out? And this looks like it'll work out good. But please stay consulting professionals and see what you can do. Okay. Right. Because financially, these are weird times. I'm expecting gold to start losing value. That's how weird it is. So, don't take your advice from some cards, no matter how wonderful they are. That I don't think that will help you, but you're gonna come out okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye now. And that's it. We've come to the end of another session of Reverend Elliot's Magical Window, where we get to look around the space-time continuum and see what's coming. You see, I told you there's going to be a lot of stuff about money and changes and things happening that are just strange, man. Because these are strange times. Like I said, when you get into inflation, it presents opportunities. All bad situations present good opportunities, but it's difficult. You got to be prepared for them, and very few people are. Like even a stock market crash. If you're young enough and you have the cash, that's a good time to start buying certain stocks. But no, this is we're looking at more lofty things here, which is the spiritual survival. So this is why I mentioned early on, why I mentioned the book Unmasking Fear. I think that's going to be a great help to anybody who's listening, is Unmasking Fear, because right now there's changes coming. That alone in itself is scary. And there are people whose sole job, they get paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Their sole job is to amplify that fear, is to make you more scared. And of course, they'll sell you a solution, Or they'll do it just to keep you watching their programs. So, because, I'm so scared. What's going on? What's going on? I'm not saying keep yourself uninformed, but just take it with a grain of salt, because they've been wrong before, as you know. Almost everything they told us about the wonderful little disease that's been going around, almost everything they told us, things that they threw you off social media for saying, are now considered true. So you see, just realize that the people who are holding themselves up as experts oftentimes don't know any more about this than you do. As Will Rogers said during one of his radio shows in 1935, during the depths of the Depression, I don't know any more about this than an economist does. Now, didn't the economists tell us that in December that if inflation would be gone? Remember that? That by December last year, inflation would be gone? Now it's worse than ever. But don't let it scare you. Trust me. These are things that you're going to have to learn to deal with rather than let them terrify the hell out of you, because then you're going to not function and they're going to steal your life. It's bad enough they're hurting our money, but no, don't let them take your life. Well, that's it. I'll see you again next week at the same time here on the Ask One Radio Network. And remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now.
A1R Psychic Radio is pleased to announce that John Capello has joined us. John Capello and the Psychic Side, live from johncapello.com.
Hi, I am psychic medium John Capello, and I want to ask you to join me every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central Time, for my show, The Psychic Side. It is an informative show about developing your personal psychic abilities. I hope you will tune in here on the Ask One Radio, Psychic Radio Network, and Moonstruck TV.
Amazingly accurate, clear answers to any question. You'll love Suzanne Marie readings. Clairvoyant reader and spiritual light transmedium. Tarot is used for spirit confirmation. She's been a spiritual reader for 30 years and would love to be able to bring accurate, clear, visionary readings for those who seek answers. Available online and phone. Call 320-455-2303 or email readingsbysuzanne@gmail.com. Suzanne Marie. Check her event page for specials.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Understanding Spirit
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mary. I'm from Australia and welcome to A1R Radio Network. And this is my first show and it's called Understanding Spirit. Today we are going to do a short meditation and to connect with your main guide, especially for all of you that are feeling quite intuitive and don't know how to go from here. So I'll get you all to just relax in your seats, uncross your legs, your arms, and close your eyes and just get comfortable and just relax in your breath, and we'll just get going. All right, first off, I just want you to visualize yourselves seeing a beautiful white, bright light of ribbon wrapping around you from head to toe. Don't make it too tight. You want to be comfortable. There you go. Now visualize a white bubble of protective light forming around you. Feel yourself being safe and protected. Now we'll just relax into our breath. And I'll ask you to breathe into the count of 4. Hold your breath to the count of 4. And breathe out to the count of 4. Breathe in to the count of 4. Hold to the count of 4. And breathe out to the count of 4. Breathe in to the count of 4. Hold to the count of 4. And breathe out to the count of 4. Again, breathe in to the count of 4. Hold to the count of 4. And breathe out to the count of 4. I want you now to see yourself in a beautiful meadow. You're wearing a white, loose flowing gown or robe, and you are barefoot. And as you walk through the meadow, you're feeling free, you are happy, you have inner peace, and you feel safe. The sun is shining on your face, it warms you, it comforts you. And as you move along, you can hear the rustle of the trees up ahead, and you can hear the birds singing, and everything feels natural and good to you. To your left, you notice that there is a white gleaming path, and you move towards it and you start to follow it. As you go along, up in the distance, you start to notice a beautiful, bright white light. It is inviting, it is drawing you in, and a sense of great excitement starts to take over you. And you move faster. And as you move forward, you get closer and you realize it's a beautiful, white, gleaming gazebo. The light coming out of it is just so bright and warm, and it invites you to come in. There are 3 steps in front of the gazebo, and you move up the steps one at a time. And as you get to the top, your guide is there waiting for you. The guide invites you to sit down on the bench inside. And as you sit with your guide, I want you to take in as much about your guide as you can. What do they look like? Is it a male or female? How old do they look? What are they wearing? You may ask them their name. You can ask them if they have a message for you. I want you to see, hear, sense, or feel your messages. You can ask your guide anything that you want. You may see colors. You may get messages in thought patterns. Just trust in what you are receiving. Your guide will work with you in the best way that they know is right for you at this point in time. It's now time to thank your guide. And your guide lets you know that they are always with you. And as you leave the gazebo, you wave goodbye and you follow along the path again that leads you up to the meadow. And as you start walking on the meadow again, it brings you back to yourself and where you are right now. Feel the weight of your body back in your seat, feeling yourself grounded and secure. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes, you can wriggle your toes and your fingers if it helps you to come back and out of your meditation. This meditation is a very simple one. My guide gave it to me in that way so that it would be easy for everyone to remember. It is a meditation that I use for my students when I'm teaching. Of course, not all meditations are a one size fits all, and that's something that we all need to remember. If you have made a connection with your guide, whether it's just a sense of them being there or whether you actually saw somebody or heard your guide, whatever you received, keep working on it through this meditation. The visualization of the white ribbon and bubble in the beginning is giving you protection, which you should always do before every meditation. And the breathing to the count of 4 helps you to relax before you get to a stage of wanting to fall asleep, I guess. So you should do those breathing techniques between 5 and 10 times before you go into the meditation. And this is something, even if you didn't see your guide and you saw colors or whatever, just keep working on it, relax, and just keep trying. We are all intuitive, and we do all have the ability to connect with these guides that are always around us. Your guide has been assigned to you, and whether you have intuitive abilities or not, we all have a main guide that is with us before we were born, while you are in utero. They are with you your whole life, and they will be with you to assist you in crossing over when it is your time to leave the earth plane. You can, even if you don't see your guide or hear your guide, you can always ask your guide for assistance in any area of your life. Just understand it may take some time to get what you want, So we do have to be patient. Sometimes a lot of things need to shift in the universe before we can get the things that, we need. So this is it's an understanding to know also that our guides, while our loved ones that have crossed over can come and guide us, it is not our loved ones that are our guide. And it's very important to remember that if you've gone up into the gazebo and you've seen a loved one that has passed away, that's fantastic. And they gave you a message, that's awesome. Take that with the love that's intended, but just keep in mind that your loved one is not your guide. So keep practicing it and until you do see your guide. And just receive your messages as you get them. You can ask things like, what am I meant to do with my life? What is my higher purpose? Whatever is important for you at the time that you're doing the meditation. All right. So I wish you all a lot of luck with that. And just keep trying. And every week I'll be coming and helping you to tune in intuitively more and more. I get a lot of people coming to me during readings wanting to know their soul path. They have some form of abilities, but they can't work out what to do with them. I'm here to help you with all of that, and slowly, hopefully, I can help you to understand spirit more and how to communicate, and your guide is the best person to trust when dealing with intuitive messages and dealing with spirit. So good luck with everything, and I look forward to teaching you all next week and guiding you through everything. And just keep practicing. And I'm very excited to be here with all of you. And it's a great platform. And I'm very blessed that I was contacted by A1R Radio Network. And I look forward to having a lot more time with all of you. So good luck with everything. Enjoy your day. And just remember, put out all good energy into the world. Never hurts to smile at somebody, no matter how sad or upset you are with your day. It does turn your day around as well. When you give out love and good cheer to others, it comes back to you tenfold. So
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul to Soul with Medium Kelly Kristen. Live from MediumKellyKristen.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul to Soul
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul. I am your host, Medium Kelly Kristen, and as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. And guess what, guys? It is not raining tonight. I think that's the first time in like 5 weeks that I've been able to say that. So I hope all of you are staying warm and dry wherever you are. Also, I have a special guest tonight, but real quick before I get to introducing her, I want to tell you about a special that I also have going on until I think April 15th. I have a code for you guys to use to get 15% off on readings and classes. And the code is super easy. It's April 15. So there you go. Hope to see you in a class or do a reading for you. I'd love to connect with you. And so now I'd love to introduce my good friend and special guest, Claire Falcon, all the way from Berlin, Germany. So hi, Claire, welcome.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so let's see. What time is it there now?
We're at 3:33 a.m.
Ooh, 3:33 a.m. So let's see, technically that would be April 6th, right, for you?
True. That's very true. Mm-hmm.
So I guess I should say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, friend. Yeah. So thanks for joining us on your birthday. That's amazing.
Super happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Of course. So, Claire and I have known each other for a while, but I think we probably have known each other on a soul level for, gosh, probably eternity, because she's one of those people that has that bright, shiny light. You'll get to know when she starts talking. We also have a lot in common. We both are teachers in the traditional sense. We both are psychics, mediums, astrologers, master teacher. I don't know, Claire, what did I leave out? What else is in your impressive resume?
Oh, I really consider myself mostly a teacher. Really, at the end of the day, everything that I do, be it through psychic mediumship reading, spirit communication, any of the classes that I teach, mentorship programs that I offer, really at the end of the day, I think it comes down to that I'm a teacher, to be honest.
Yeah, that resonates with me as well. So it must be why we get along so well. Let's see, what was I going to ask you? I do want to mention this because this just popped in my head. Claire also spends time in Pennsylvania, where she is from as well. And I wanted to mention that because Claire, my caller last week was from Pennsylvania. Her name was Mandy, and she was awesome, and her dad was awesome. So we have a lot of East Coast fans, right? So yeah, so you have that connection with them. And also before I forget, can you give us your information on how we can find you, like your website and any social media?
Absolutely. So I have a website, it's clairefalcon.com, very easy to remember. I'm quite active on Instagram at pen_PENN for Pennsylvania _Falcon. And I generally on Instagram do a couple of lives throughout the year. I'm trying this year to do a live once a month. It's a wonderful way to connect with people, to do spirit mediumship readings, to do psychic readings, and also just to really promote the study and understanding of consciousness, one of the big things that I love teaching about. So I offer also within my website and my newsletter, if you want to sign up for my newsletter, a couple of free master classes throughout the year, and really all of the highlights and programs that I offer. So between that and my YouTube channel, which is Claire Falcon as well, I offer a lot of free information on any topics to do with spirit communication, psychic development, but also just teaching people intuition. So generally through those three channels, my website, clairefalcon.com, my Instagram handle, pen_Falcon, and my YouTube channel are the best ways to get in touch with me.
Okay, perfect. And I'll put that on my webpage. My webpage and my Facebook page. And so just in case you guys didn't get that. And speaking of, master classes, Claire and I have a group of friends that we, kind of are a close group. And so we a lot of times will attend each other's classes either to learn or just to support. It's really fun to do that with friends. And I had the privilege of joining Claire's class yesterday, and I wrote it down. It was a master class on astro guidance and aura readings, right?
Right.
And so it was amazing to see how Claire was able to incorporate an aura reading with the astrological birth chart of the person and do a reading that way. Now, is that something that you offer as a service as well?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like, I primarily offer consultations that are spirit communication, connecting individuals with their loved ones in spirit, something I'm really deeply passionate about, and I know you are as well. One of the really foundations of my work. And the second one is psychic readings. And my psychic readings are very broad. I can read the aura for placements that have to do with health, career, even love, or direction about where people are going, wisdom, guidance, spiritual gifts. And within those aura readings, I use a lot of color. I use a lot of also astrological placements that I see within the aura. I like to call it basically psychic astrology. And one thing that I really love to do is, after studying astrology now for about 15 years, there's really a immense amount of wisdom that can be gained after an aura reading, to kind of take a question or something that I saw and to anchor it back into the birth chart reading. And so it's just another one of those tools that we can use to deepen the experience about helping our clients. And so I really love to incorporate that into my psychic readings. Sometimes I'll do aura readings where, it'll be an entire consultation of reading the aura and providing evidence and providing guidance to individuals. And then it'll be, 5 minutes at the end that we'll simply look into the birth chart for further advice, because really, the two are almost the same. It's just a different way of looking into the energy of someone and looking into a blueprint. But it is immensely helpful to use the two in unison, because it just really, really deepens the experience. And at the end of the day, really allows us to help our clients who are seeking our advice. And so what I really love to do, something actually that I decided to develop after doing that for so long, is that I've incorporated basically that into my mentorship program. And so what you were seeing the other night was just a really kind of snapshot at how we can use our intuition, be it from a psychic medium or from ourselves, and we can really learn these tools, maybe in a very basic sense in the beginning, right? But we can really learn to access these tools and to master them in such a manner that they become something that we can tap into for guidance along the way. So it's a real foundation of my mentorship program.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Can you talk a little bit more about the mentorship program and kind of what it looks like? Because all of your services are so different. Yours are in a beautiful way, right? They're not like anyone else's, so I can't explain it. So if you could please do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's something actually, it's a good indication of why I did the mentorship program. We all have our different ways of accessing it, right? And it's simply tapping into the best way that we can do it to offer it to individuals. So my mentorship program came to be because I really saw a need for individuals, be it graphic designers, salesmen, doctors, any walk of life, that there is a unique ability for all of us to tap into our intuition. And in doing so, we allow a kind of modus of living to live from the inside out, is what I like to call it. And that you have a really deeper and stronger sense of who you are, where you're going, what your purpose is, and really to be able to feel and tap into your greater strength. So the mentorship program is just that. It's a 4-week program that I designed that is online, that basically incorporates everything that I like to do, which is dream analysis, which is teaching people how to use their birth chart, and it's also teaching people meditation. So it's almost like a 3 to 4 part pillar program where it is teaching people how to tap into their intuition and really to live a self-empowered life. So I did really take all of the things that I offer and put them into this nice little program to offer to people to mentor them as they're embarking on this journey.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I love how you put that together. And believe it or not, we are almost out of time. It goes by so quickly. But can you tell us when your next one's starting? That's what I wanted to ask you.
Absolutely, thank you. So it starts on April the 23rd.
Oh.
And it will go, it'll go for 4 weeks. I have all the information on my website at clairefalcon.com. And if you look for me on Instagram, I have a couple of specials coming up in order to do it. And actually, for my birthday, I'm running a sale on my website that is already there. You don't need any promo codes. And it's $100 off for everybody wanting to sign up when they feel like it's really something that fits with them. So I encourage you to go and check it out if you'd like to, but we're starting on April the 23rd, and I can't wait. It's going to be a great program.
Perfect. Again, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I will also have all that information on my website, just in case you didn't listen or didn't hear. But thank you guys all for joining tonight. I will see you next week. Have a great week. Shine your light bright. Thank you, Claire, so much for joining us tonight. Happy birthday.
Great to be here. Hi to all of your fans. Kelly does such great work. It's lovely to be here.
Oh, you're so... Okay, guys. See you next week. Bye.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial Call 02-8488-3147 or online contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio, or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is your time to shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, happy full moon, and almost Easter. Easter weekend coming up. Hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here with me tonight. I always appreciate all of the support and love that you all give me out there for all of those watching. So I had a wonderful get together with some coworkers today, and we were having some dinner just before the show, and it was just an amazing feeling of community and like the tribe, like you have found part of your tribe. And it's just really great to be able to experience and to share with like-minded people and being and feeling that you are in a safe place and a safe space to be able to be who you are, regardless of who you are, right? Where there's no judgment, where there is nothing but pure love and openness and reflection. And so it's so important as humans, we are people who love to be around others. Well, for the most part. But we are, we love having the community and the communication. And so many people struggled during COVID because we were so isolated. Everybody was just within themselves and within maybe their own family unit. And it was very confining for so many people. And we're starting now just to get back into what was reality prior to COVID. And it feels really fantastic getting out and having lunch or dinner or coffee with friends, with people that you know and loved ones, and finding that community again. And it's so important. And it's so important for us to be able to find our tribe. And who is our tribe, you ask? So our tribe is just that. It's community. It's finding the like-minded people or those that tug at our heartstrings that you just know are part of you. You've either known them some way, somehow, you don't know how, but you just know that you know them. And it's about sharing experiences, feeling safe in that atmosphere, to be able to share those experiences openly, without judgment, without persecution. That's when you know that you have found real community, that you have found people that you can trust. And today, this evening, it just brought all that back home for me. All of that we've been missing, prior to COVID, we all took this for granted. And now as we're coming out of COVID and trying to get back to, a normal life, we're all realizing how much we missed that piece of it and how much we crave the togetherness and being within community and being present with each other, right? And so it was just a fantastic evening. We all need our community. We all need our tribes, no matter who we are. So I encourage you to seek out your tribe, because it's a great way to discuss things. I learned so much that I didn't know before. Some personal things about this group of women that I was with, some things I did know, but it was a teaching moment for all of us. And when you're within that community group, it's always about a teaching moment. It's all about learning. It's all about understanding each other and what we go through, trials and errors, right? So no matter who you are, it is so important for you to find your tribe, find your like-minded people, and reach out to them and have conversation with them, because that's what keeps the fire within us. That's what drives our soul to, go to new heights and new distances, is the love and the support that we get from that tribe. And we always learn new things, whether we knew something about a topic that was being discussed or not. You always learn a new twist on things. And so keeping an open mind, being present in that moment, having the eye contact and letting them know that they are heard, that you are listening, that you care what they have to say, that what they have to say is important. And just having that moment, that piece of it is so powerful, right? It's bringing each other together in a different way than you previously had been. You can be coworkers and know someone from what they do at work day in and day out, but you get them away from work and they are a completely different person or a personality, right? You dive deeper into who they are, because who they are as the person that you sit to next to in the cubicle or across the way in the office is not always the person that presents themselves when you get them in a safe space. Now, sometimes they are, but sometimes they aren't. And you can learn so much from somebody just by giving them the chance to open up and tell their story. So look for your tribe. Be open with them, communicate with them, and reconnect. It's all about reconnecting right now and getting back to what feels like normal, everyday life. We've all kind of forgotten what that looks like. And so we are rebuilding this. We are rebuilding what our normal lives look like. So get out there and be social. Reach out to your tribe, reach out to those people that you need to connect with, and make that connection happen and be part of community once again and enjoy being part of that community. All right. I hope you find your tribe again, so that you can have some great conversation with them and reconnect, because it's really important. And I didn't actually realize that until I had that connection again. And so do yourself a favor and reconnect with those people that give you that heartfelt, soul nourishing need that we're all needing right now. All right. We have a caller on the line this evening. We have Josephine in Western Australia. Good evening, Josephine, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello. How are you?
How are you this evening?
I'm doing good.
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
It was my mom's memorial yesterday, and I haven't done anything for her. And yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to see if she's okay and if I'm okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. So you kind of cut out there at the beginning. So you recently lost your mom. Is that what you've said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me just take a moment here and connect. And as I do that, there'll just be a little moment of silence, and then I will be right back with you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So Josephine, so your mom is doing great. I will say she's worried about you. And she just wants to say that she's so sorry that she had to leave. And she really is concerned about you and how you're doing. She's watching over you and is with you all the time. But she says she's been having trouble getting through to you.
Okay.
She says you need to take care of yourself.
Right.
That you need to do things that are going to make you happy. You have to be able to carry on. And she knows that that's really hard for you right now. And she has a lot of sadness around that piece of it because she can't help you. She's not here to help you, I should say, in the human form. And that's all she wants to do. She was such a loving and caring person. It's just like she has her arms outstretched and she's like, all I want to do is just give you a great big hug. She very much just wants to take care of you and make it all go away and make sure that you are okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see what else she has to say. She says, you have to remember each and every day to do something for you that is meaningful to you. And to remember that life is precious every single day. She wants you to realize the gift that you are, the gift that you were to her, because she loved you very much. And you were such a gift to her and all that you did. And she wants you to remember that.
Thank you.
Yeah, she says you don't give yourself enough credit. And there's got to be credit where credit is due.
Thanks.
And she said she will remind you that all the time. She's saying she's going to come through to you through music, through songs. So pay attention.
I feel it.
Yeah. Pay attention to the lyrics or to the songs or even the melody she's saying. Even the melody of the songs will trigger a memory of her. And so know that that is her coming through to you to give you encouragement and to remind you of what a gift you are.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I need to hear that.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I needed to hear that. Thank you. I miss you so much.
Oh, good. You're so very welcome. You're so very welcome. She was such a kind and gentle soul, a very beautiful person.
I agree.
She's just saying, don't give up. Don't give up on the beauty of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
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 She's saying, remember why you do the things you do, because they're important.
Okay.
She says, do the things that are important and that are meaningful and let everything else go.
Makes sense.
Okay. I'm looking to see if there's anything else she has to say.
Okay. Do you think I'll ace my studies that I'm going to do?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Do you think I'm going to pass my studies?
Hang on, let me, yeah, I do. Your mom is chiming in and she's saying you're very smart. You've always been, she says, you're too smart for your own good. So she says, don't worry about it. You've got this. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to do your best. And that is all that you can ever ask of yourself. She says, you are more than capable of doing all this. You just need to believe in yourself. And stop trying to make everything perfect, she says. Life isn't perfect.
Yeah.
She says, you're going to do a great job. Give yourself a little bit of a break, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can do for you this evening?
No, I think that's all I needed to hear.
Perfect. I'm so glad. Well, thank you so much and enjoy your evening.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Next, we have Amy in Oklahoma. Good evening, Amy, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Ooh, I'm excited to have you. What can I do for you this evening?
Oh, my goodness. I'm really feeling the need I lost my grandfather in 2009, and he was the only father figure in my life. And he was the first major loss that I ever had to endure. I lost him the same time I went through my divorce from my ex-husband. The same week I divorced my ex-husband, I lost my father figure. He actually adopted me, so I called him Dad, even though he was biologically my grandfather. He was my biological mother's dad, and due to her mental impairment, she could not care for me, so I was raised by him as well as my maternal grandmother. He, was the only man in my life and meant the world to me. I was a grandfather's girl, daddy's girl, however you want to call it, and his passing was very sudden, even though it was expected due to his physical condition. And shortly after he passed, I got pregnant with my one and only child, and I really feel like he had a big part in that, and that kept me on the straight path and allowed me to produce positive things in my life. I really feel like if I hadn't gotten pregnant with her, my life would have gone down a different path, and it would have been very dark. And ever since then, I've had very good things happen to me. I've made a success of myself despite what I was born into, and I was born into high poverty. Low social demographic. I had all the cards stacked against me saying I was going to wind up, in XYZ places that no one wants to be, and I turned out, to go down a very good path in life and be able to accomplish a lot of things and help a lot of people along the way. And I just feel the need to connect with him because I miss him so much. Like I said, he passed away in 2009, and I haven't had, a dad, since then, and I need to know that he's still with me, and I just need to feel him close again.
All right. Yeah, you definitely have had a lot going on in your life, especially in that little short time frame around 2009. And so your grandfather actually has stepped in, and there's so much love from him to you, and he wants you to know that he's so proud of what you've done in your life and how you have raised your daughter and all of the things that you have endured and have conquered. And he wants you to know that you've done some glorious things in your life and that you need to recognize that. And he said he's always with you. He's always with you. And he's just he has your back. That's what he's saying. I have your back. I've always had your back. And he's watching over your daughter, and he's basic, like what he's showing me is that he's behind the two of you, and he's guiding you. Like it's like he's showing me going left and then a little bit to the right and then a little bit more to the left and a little, so it's like he's guiding you with his arms and with such huge amounts of love for you. And he's saying you're going in the right direction. Keep going. Keep moving forward.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of love that he has for you.
I really feel like the strength that he carried with him transcended into me after his passing, because he also had a lot of obstacles in his life. And I feel like, his raising, of me to, power through and man up and to push through to accomplish goals and tasks, really just, poured into me, after I was able to get back on my feet again after his passing, which, didn't happen until I found out I was pregnant. And I really feel like, that's the only reason I was able to, restart, myself again after having the first major loss in my life and, getting pregnant, after just having a divorce. It definitely was not, it definitely was not planned by any means, having never been pregnant, prior to from a 10-year relationship that I was in with my ex. It just seemed, divine that, he was behind that because it really, gave me direction, in sense of, I had purpose to, live my life for her, despite my heartbreak of losing him. And I had to accomplish a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yes, I'm hearing miracle child, that she's your miracle child.
You can say that again. She really is a miracle child.
Yeah, I just keep hearing miracle child, and that, she's the one that she's also the driving force in your life, right? We like to think as parents that we are their driving force, but they are our driving force as well.
Ever since I found out, from day one, ever since, everything I've done has been for her. Every decision I've ever made, every thought process was for her benefit and what was best for her and her rearing. Absolutely. I've never faltered in that, and she'll be 13 tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Your grandfather is like a huge player behind the scenes with all of that. And he's so proud of her. And he says she's just a smiling star. That's what he says. She's just a star in the universe. And the smile that she brings lights up the room.
Yeah, so she definitely makes, her whole family proud.
Yeah. Amy, we're coming down to the last few seconds of our show, so I'm going to have to say goodnight. But thank you so much for calling in, and I hope this has been helpful for you.
We hope. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you. You too. All right. Well, that does it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to connect with me to get a personal one-on-one reading or even a group reading, please reach out to me on my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook pages, Julie Yeager Walker Medium or Your Time to Shine. Good evening, everyone. Enjoy your Easter weekend, and we will see you next week.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDSPsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Astrology and Psychic Reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. So I'm your host for this half an hour, Lady D. I'm sure you've all had a fabulous week that's passed. It's been interesting. We did have that conjunction that we had with Chiron and the Sun in the middle of the week. I know for myself, I did feel that where just certain things just not going right. And I feel like it was kind of like that for other people too that I could see. But now we've got some other positive conjunctions that are coming up this week, which is really, really good. And then my exciting news that I had is that so my cake that I decorate every year, I put in the cake for the Easter show and I came second. It's not a real cake, it's just on cake decorating, and I have printed it out. So I have got my social media if you want to have a closer look, or if you're going to Sydney Royal Easter Show, go and check out the cake. So these are some pictures of my cake. I have a client and she contacts me when she's sort of worried or stressed out, and she was worrying when I was doing this and putting it together. And she was calling me. She'll call me up randomly and just be like, "Oh, can you give me a reading?" And I always tell her no. And this time I was like, "No, go do my cake." And she was like, this cake must be a good cake," but she doesn't get it. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience for me to do that work. And it's also rushed with my other things that I have going on that I've got to do, but I get it done. And and then I feel really good once I get the achievement there too. So it just, if you push through, and I am aiming for first, so hopefully next year I will get a first place, hopefully. But that's my big exciting news. So if you're in the Royal Sydney Easter Show, go and check out my cake that came second. So I was there last night, and I was talking people that were going past, and I could hear the comments about my cake, and even some people were saying that I should come first, and I just felt even more prouder. But go and check it out. Okay, so this week, what we've got going ahead. On Tuesday and Wednesday on the 12th, we've got Jupiter that's going to conjunct the Sun. So this is going to be a really, really good transit. You might be hearing some really good news on this day, or things just might be falling into place, going to plan. Jupiter is luck. The Sun represents your life, so it's going to be a luck conjuncting with your life. So that's going to be a really positive transit that you have there. And it is going to be a time where doors are also going to be opening up for you as well. Things that you may not have planned for may come into fruition as well with that. It's just an opportunity and plans for it's luck. And I feel like there's going to be things that are going to be revealed coming on the surface as well to you. And we've also got Venus, which is going to be coming into Gemini this week. So with Venus coming into Gemini, we do have some energy. Gemini is about being social. Whenever you meet a Gemini, I find that they are fun people. They're youthful people. They like to learn. They know a lot about different things. You can have a conversation with them about anything because they like to know and like different things. And they're good working with young people as well, with such Geminis, and they are good networkers. So they're all about networking too. They're natural networkers, but the only thing with them is they never feel like they know enough. Even though they have this sponge or this thirst for knowledge, and they could go to the highest point they could possibly go to, and still never think they know enough about that subject. But this is, we got Venus coming into this sign. So with Venus is our love, it's our money. So this is where we could be looking at growing our networks to do with our money, our financial status, or where we're going to invest. We're looking at different ideas and who can we network, who can we partner up with to help us that. There might be, or you might be focusing more on the youth or young person. Maybe you're a young person yourself trying to, discover new things. There's also relationships here. So we could be looking at forging relationships, different relationships, again, using our networks, using social scene or where we're going through in our, with our own people that we know through our own networks, but also being more social. This aspect can also bring you feeling more social. You want to go out more, do things. You want to, start doing some more networking. We've only got about a couple more weeks before we've got the Mercury retrograde, and we've got also an eclipse happening too. So we've got some big things happening this month. So we always say get things done or get things started before Mercury retrograde. So having this Venus in this Gemini, it's definitely a good time to start things and start planning things before Mercury goes into retrograde. Because when Mercury goes into retrograde, things may not go according to plan. So, and we always get things coming up, and I feel like it will be in Taurus too that it goes retrograde. So it is going to be looking at your money and financials, and it could be also linked in with the Venus because Taurus and Venus are linked. So we've also got some squares happening here with the Pluto and the nodes. So here the node is our life lesson, or I call them like destiny points. So it's sort of where we're heading. So you got the north, then you got the south node. They're always opposite each other in the charts. So the south node is sort of where we're going away from. The north node is where we're going to. So it's in Taurus and we got Scorpio. But having this conjunction or the square that's happening with Pluto, when it's going to feel like a change in destiny here. There's a change. What we feel like we might be sort of old reliable might not be reliable anymore, because when you're looking at this Tauruses are reliable. They're the same. They don't like change. So it's like old reliable. And you've got Uranus in this house where things may not be as reliable anymore. And something that I've been thinking about today, and even I talk with different people too, and some people that you talk to, you have certain conversations with them. I try to sort of be careful sometimes, because people will sometimes think, oh, that was crazy. That would never happen. That would never happen. And then today I was listening to an astrologer that I listened to, and he was mentioning about the Titanic, and I was like, just had like a light bulb moment, a thought that people think that everything's going to stay the same, or that everything's going to be okay, that nothing will change, we just everything's going to be fine, or as long as we maybe hold a crystal and don't put back a bad energy out there, it's going to be fine. Well, life has to happen, things have to happen, the world's changing. And when the Titanic was here, everyone was like, it's the unsinkable ship. That's how it came out. It's not going to sink. It's the unsinkable ship. Nothing's going to happen to this ship. Well, as we know today, things happened to the ship. It didn't make it. It sank. And even the way it was punctured, it was very, I don't feel like it, I think from my memory, I don't think it was a very straightforward thing. It was a bit unusual in the way it designed. So we never, always think that, no, that's not going to happen, because what you think is not going to happen could very well happen in life. We just don't know, especially with the energies, with the planets that we have. This week is going to be, I feel like, a pretty good week, but we've also got underlining things that we also have to prepare for. So what I've got also coming up for this week, I've got look at where the world is heading to decide if you're in the right spot. And you want to look deeper through things. Don't let others decide things for you. I feel like this is an important one, because I got the next one about taking responsibility. Take responsibility and ownership for yourself and your own problems. So don't blame people. We've got this Chiron energy that's in Aries. So this is about poor me a little bit here, because I always say the stronger energies, when you've got the stronger energies and you've got these other planets that these pain things can bring in. It's like when the giant falls, it falls hard. So it's this week it is about taking responsibility for yourself and what you're doing too. But don't let just let other people make decisions for you. Have an input and make sure you want to know where you're heading. Okay, this is not a time to put blinders on. But here it's time to question everything about like our reality where we're in, and even your own life, your own thoughts is very important. Because we are got that Mercury in Taurus here. That's going to be coming up this week with Uranus next week. We got here, spend time with who is important to you. Got, don't worry about what you can't control. Instead, be prepared. Don't listen to people. And I've got here like in power. I'm going to see people in power. So I feel like in certain, we're looking at governments or people that, where people are meant to sort of follow. Sometimes it's good to question things. I always think it's good to question things. Don't just follow blindly. Look at other possibilities beyond reality. So think about, what things could happen and are you prepared? Let things fall in place. Don't push if it is not working. Sometimes we want to push something and I've been there and done it myself where really trying to push something and make things work when it's just not the time. It's just not going to happen. You get blocked. And then sometimes when you just leave that situation or you come back to it, it will just fall into place. Even with my cake, I started to get very stressed out with the wheels, trying to stick them in, they were breaking. And then my sister came over and she just sort of put me at ease and she just spent a little bit on it with me and she helped me a little bit. And it worked. It worked. But sometimes you got to take a step back before doing it. Got here, now look at being able to look at growing ideas. I was seeing plant to this, so I don't know whether or not it could be starting your own garden, but I was sort of thinking of your ideas. So don't just think about them, start growing them, thinking about how you can put them in practice and how you can start it and make a time frame and start getting on there and doing it. Got here, don't follow the crowd. When we've got this Pluto that's coming into Aquarius, it's not about following everyone else. Aquarian's about being different, so being unusual. So, don't be afraid to speak up or to be different. And especially with this Pluto in Aquarius, where we're getting this little taste of. It's very important for that. It's time to make moving plans. But here, love is in the air for those looking in the right places. So there could be love coming up, especially with this Venus coming into Gemini in certain social situations. There is definitely like love is in the air. Don't be afraid to starting again. Sometimes we have to start again with things. So let's go to the caller. Let me just see here. Liz here. So we've got Liz in Green Bay. So hi, Liz. How can I help you?
Hi. I'm just wondering if everything's going to be going good in the next few months, and will me and the girls relocate?
Okay. I feel like July. The relocation could be in July, or looking to start the process in July. Just like first I got like a no, but then I just heard July. Let's have a look here. I feel like you want to move, like we're sort of desperate to get out of it where you are. I feel like I can see holes, so I don't know if there's like people picking holes in your plans or things aren't going to your plan of where you're going, but I feel like you're wanting to move somewhere nicer. I just heard that you're wanting to go somewhere nicer and that you're very brave. Very brave.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I feel like where you are, it's a bit dingy. I feel like where you're going to, there's going to be more nature around you as well. I feel like, or where I'm having to drive around, I'm driving through nature. So I feel like where you're going to go, there's like greenery around you. Could even be like some sort of like country town. There is celebration around you. I feel I'm going into September as well, where the celebration is going to happen for you, where it is more of a positive set for you and your family. You are going to get it together. It's like where you are now, you're having to fight off people or people. You don't listen to people who are being negative or trying to tell you what to do. You need to follow your own instincts, because I feel like what you're feeling and where you know to go is correct. You've got too many around you. I feel like telling you, and I just need to block them out and to just it's like I need to ignore them. It's like the world is your oyster here, that I feel like. So
What about like
with
these
your,
upcoming court dates? Sorry, not to cut you off.
it's okay. What was that question?
Do you pick up anything on like these coming up court dates?
Sorry, your niece. Oh, court date. Okay. Um. Okay. All right. So you got an court. You got a court date. You got a court case coming up here. Okay.
Yeah, I have one, and then my ex-husband is still facing one for something else.
Okay. I'm hearing don't settle. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you what I see, what I hear. I'm just hearing don't go for second best. Like don't, like, you need to go to where you're comfortable. And I feel like this is maybe where I'm hearing about they're not listening. Like I'm all confused. But I heard the word not just like don't settle. Don't settle. Okay. Is this like a criminal? Is this for is this to do with something that's like a criminal thing or?
Yeah, it is criminal. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like you're in the right. There's someone else in the wrong here. I feel like your side is the right side. I feel like and the other side is very dark. I feel like this is part of the reason why you need to move as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I keep on getting July, so I feel like July. So where you're living at, do you own this place? Because I feel like you were putting up for sale.
Yeah, it's an apartment, and yes, most definitely. Like when I was trying to get away from him and stuff like this, and that he found out where we lived, and he just won't let me alone. So he was breaking a lot of laws. Yeah, so that's about the lawyer.
Okay. All right. So what I get for you is that I feel like July is over putting maybe a for sale sign up, and then September. I feel September could be the move, where things are sold for you. But I feel like, look, there is celebration here. So I do get celebration, as I said, September. So I feel like there's going to be a celebration for you. So you need to hold on until September. It is going to be. And you are you might feel like that you're a bit of a hermit here, that you are so alone, even though you're not alone. You are someone that's very protective of you and your family, and I feel like at all costs you will protect them, and you might feel like you're the little person here. But I just feel like that there is also justice coming for you as well. Or justice will be calling for you. No, you're hidden. You got there's a strength for you that's very hidden. But you're protecting yourself here. You're being prepared. And I feel like July is where you've got to come out fighting here in July as well. But you're going to break through this. You're going to be okay. And you just need to, you've got to show you're going to have to show confidence. You're going to have to hide your fears, and you're going to have to try and show some sort of confidence here as well. Even though I feel like hard, because I feel very nervous. I feel like very nervous. I've got very anxiety here. But I just feel like you need to put a brave face on. And I know you can do it. Okay. And I wish you all the luck. I keep on getting July and September for you. July and September keep on coming up for me for you. And you're just going to be brave.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for your time.
That's okay. I hope I've helped you. We'll go to the next caller now. So now we've got here, and wish you all the luck too. Got Carolina, who's in Karina, who's in she's in Lavia in Indiana, in India, America. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
How can I help you today?
I have a couple questions. I do not understand. I keep facing financial challenges. I have a good job. I make a good living, but I keep running into a lot of financial challenges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know at the moment. I think we're all heading in this direction. and it's gonna for you. Let's have a look for you and see when things are going to clear. I feel like for you, once you feel like you're sort of out of the clear, something else comes in. It's like I see like you'll feel like, oh, I can breathe, or I'm finally sort of in the clearing, but then something else drops. So it's like a continuous sort of like cycle, like up and down here, for you in your. So when things are gonna look, I feel like I know we're in April now, but I feel like I'm counting my money. I'm counting everything. I'm putting things in different bundles. So if you're sorting things out and you're budgeting, like what you need to spend, for where. Do you have your own business as well? Is there a business side of this as well?
I have a small. I have some land, and it brings in an income.
Okay.
In addition to my regular job.
Okay, so her business. Okay. I feel like over the next few months that might actually flow a bit more smoother. I feel like you're going to be working more on that to help the income to build it up to go through. I feel like at your other job, your work, I feel like you're due. I'm going to say by the end of the year, even by perhaps November, I feel like I'm getting a bonus or some sort of pay rise there to help out with. And it's about the rise in the cost of living. I also feel like there's a lot of fear coming here for you. Like I'm very nervous about what's going on, but you're planning everything to come. I feel like next year is going to be a better year for you. Again, getting this card, what came out, and it's about celebration, but I got there might be more next year for you than this year. This year, it's like you're counting, you're going to stay above the line. So I can see you staying above the water, but you're paddling the water. So this year, you are going to be staying above that water, say head above the water. I feel like you as a partner here, so I feel like it's you and someone else that's connected with this too, that's going to help each other out as a partnership formed with this. There is going to be a part where you are, November even could be a new job coming up for you. It even could be a new job, because I feel like there's also an aspect of you walking away from something here. And I just feel like this is also linked to that celebration I could see in November. So I do feel like there could be a new job or new opening up, something else, because I am wanting to walk away. But I feel like that business thing, that other thing that you got is staying. Because I feel like that I want to work more in that, or I'm planning more. Is where the planning's also come in. It's to do with that side to try and prop it up a bit too. I feel like we're looking at putting your money in different places. I feel like you're looking at different places to invest in your finances as well. And you know what's because you have these feelings. I feel like you've got these feelings, like things are coming in, and you've got these feelings, and you're trying to really push back to where things are coming to where you need to be. And it's like you got to get off this cycle that you're in. You're in this cycle, like a round cycle. You got to get off this cycle too, as well. Because I feel like in your current place, your current job you're doing, you should be paid more. I feel like you're not paid enough. You should be paid more. I know you get paid well, but I just feel like there's an imbalance here at the job, and I do feel like you're being overlooked, and that you're taking on responsibility, but you're being overlooked, and that could even be coming around June, July for you, where it's like you want to put your hand up, like to be noticed, but they're not noticing you, and this could prep or change you to go to do something else, to look to do something else. Are you working in government or law?
No.
Okay, what do you do for your work?
I am dealing with that right now with my farm. So.
Oh, so you are dealing with like legal, like law and or government. Okay. Is there also been injustice with you as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
With my farm.
Okay. It's like I was seeing Donald Trump, so that's why I said that, because I was seeing Donald Trump, so I knew it was like trying to work out why I was seeing that, and then I was like trying to put it into place. I keep on hearing, "Don't worry." I just see the sun coming up for you. I just feel like this card is really sending out. And I know it's hard when I say don't worry, and it's hard because you're going through these financial challenges and these other things that are going in your life, and it's like, oh my God. But this card's really sending out to me, and I just feel like by February next year, things have opened up for you more. And it's like the light sort of shining on you more too. And you can breathe again. And it's like everything that's happened to you in these past, I'm going to say 2 years, it's like you can put it in a box and, put in a box, pack it up and put it away and not have to deal with it. But I feel like it's going to be till February next year to when you can do that, because there's still more that's going to be coming up that you're going to have to deal with. But financially, you are going to get through it. You might think it's going to be tough, but I just see you as, like I said, like treading water. I can see you like in the water here, and you're like dog paddling, trying to keep your head above the water. And I know your head's not going to go down, so I know you're going to be okay as well. Next year, also, I feel like holiday for you next year as well. I feel like you're going to go to Hawaii or somewhere that's tropical. I'm seeing a girl with the big flower in her hair, but I feel like it's more 24 than this year. And it's going to be like a well-deserved break that you need to just, I feel like, relax. So I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of shopping there as well, too, to get some
Okay.
nice things as well. But I feel like with you, just try and stay positive. I do get feeling a bit emotional, so I feel like you are getting quite down with this. And I just feel like you just need to be you just need to say, try and stay positive. Try and stay positive for you.
Okay,
But
thank you.
that's okay. Hope I've helped you. So
Yes.
thank you. So so we're going through these tough times, and I think we're all going through these tough times in different ways, and people's stories in their lives are different. But there can be some similarities, and I think it's very important to support each other going through these tough times that we are. And I hope we all have a wonderful Easter. I'm in Australia, so at the moment we're in Good Friday. It's like one thing going on 1:30 here p.m. So we get the day off. We get a 4-day weekend here. I am working tomorrow, but typically we get 4 days off at Easter. So I'm very lucky in that way. But I hope you all have a really good Easter. Be kind to yourself. Take a break. Have some chocolate or have hot cross buns, or have something that, treat yourself a little bit. If you feel guilty, go for a walk. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to go for a walk soon myself, just to go with the chocolate or the hot cross buns that I had before. And if you want to contact me for a reading, you can. My website is Lady D Psychic Parties, along with my Facebook page, Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram is Lady D Psychic, the same my TikTok, and my YouTube channel is Lady D. If you can't see under that, look for Danielle Psychic. I do weekly videos there. And I hope you all, as I said, have a happy Easter, safe Easter, and safe travels if you're going away. And I'll be back same time, same place next week. So bye for now.
Kids, which is a huge contribution to society. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the best payoff. It doesn't have the best retirement system. Unfortunately, it's really underappreciated and overlooked as one of the most important things on the planet. If we don't give our little babies, a primary caretaker that's healthy, happy, and provided for, these children can grow up to be psychopaths. I mean, let's just call it what it is.